We live. What's up? What's up? Shape. I'm here. Call me Shape. Sunday live. We call this Sunday live after party at Shapes. I appreciate you. Everybody's joining in. Please get settled. Um, and guess what? You get to choose a topic today, like you get to choose a topic every live. And enjoy. But while people are filling in, I will start to talk. I will monologue, and I will actually just recap my week. So I appreciate everybody that's bearing with me. First things first, thank you for everyone who just subscribed to the channel. The channel is growing. At the moment, we're going about 150 subs a month. I appreciate you. I know it's not the largest platform, but we are hustling till we make it, right? This is the same way everyone got to do. We got to start somewhere. So appreciate all the new subscribers. We got, like I said, 150 new subscribers this month. And I'm just 10x where I was last year. So I'm just extremely happy. Also, I dropped a video on Friday about Fresh and Fit, their controversy with their baby mama. If you haven't seen it, check it out. I think it's a good video. I took a little different perspective on it. If you've seen the video, you'll know. If you did see the video, comment what you think about the video below. I really want to hear you guys' feedback. Like I said, I make the videos for you guys. Right now, I'm going to put the link in the bio right now for anybody that's joining that wants to join the live. Let's have the conversation. Let's get it done. So, all right, so a little bit of housekeeping. First things first, and I got to always say this. I do 3 lives a week. Sunday, 8 to 10. Tuesday, 9 to 10. Thursday, 9 to 10. The rules are simple. You must cam up to be on the live for the most part. You know, if I know you or seen you before, you can probably do audio only. So, yeah, most of the time I want you to see you guys cam up because I don't know you guys. I want to see you guys. Also, please try to avoid some profanity. So if you want to say anything that's like SA, right? That's, I don't know if you guys heard the term SA for sex assault, SA. Or if you heard the word grape seed oil, instead of, you know, just a hard R, use that. Also, when you're talking about adult films, say corn or corn star. I appreciate you guys. So simple stuff, not too hard, not too hard. All right, Jack Morgan's actually having his live going on. He might hop on here later on. Shout out to my brother Jack. I appreciate him. He had me on his live earlier today, so check the replay of it. We had a good conversation. And one of the things we talked about is one of the subjects of my new video. One of my new videos is called Are They Black? Right? I actually dropped a comment on Shade Room that went viral. And the comment was basically, you know, it was about a post about Lotto. I don't know if you heard of Lotto before. Lotto is this biracial rapper. Her name is Lotto, I guess, has a abbreviation or short form of mulatto. Anyway, beautiful chick. She has a white mom, black dad. She showed a picture of her parents, and the picture went viral. The Shade Room covered it, and everyone was arguing whether she was black or not. I'm actually about to do a video on this. Hopefully be out within the next 24 hours. But yeah, that's a good conversation to have even now. Maybe I'll use some clips from today in that video. So the question is, are you black if your mom's white? So if you're half white and your mom's white, your dad's black, are you black? And there's a few people that this applies to. Lotto's one of them. J. Cole's one of them. Barack Obama, Colin Kaepernick. There's a few mulatto people that just identify as black. My personal opinion is I think it's twofold. One, if you look black, the world treats you like you're black. If you look biracial, the world treats you like you're biracial. That's one hand. So that's like the outside and nature side. And then on the nurture side is it's much different to grow up in a white household than it is a black household. I'm not saying the white household is smarter, dumber, more racist, any of that stuff. It's just different. You know what I'm saying? Black women are different than white women culturally. And when we talk about education, those things are hard to talk about because realistically, you could be from a smart black household or you could be from a dumb white household. You know, it could be either or on both sides. You know, dumb black, smart white, somewhere in the between, in the middle. So I'm personally from affluence. My dad, even though he came from third world country from Trinidad, my dad actually went to go to. He actually came to America, went to NYU. So he went to Ivy League school, graduated, got his master's, made a bunch of money, and I had what you would call affluent lifestyle. My dad made, I don't know, somewhere around $250,000 a year for a large portion of my life. But he didn't spoil me, and this is where I get my work ethic from. I'm someone that, life wasn't handed to me, but I didn't have to worry about where my next meal is coming from, or if the light bill or any of our utilities are going to get cut off. I didn't have to worry about that at all. Okay, and I do speak very proper because I used to live in the hood, but I moved to the suburbs when I was 13, and so this is the effects of growing up in a white neighborhood, right? And just having an intelligent father. I'm sure if I just was ghetto moving to a white neighborhood, that wouldn't change anything. But my dad had a master's degree, and a lot of people's parents don't have even a bachelor's degree. At least at that time, I know bachelor's degrees are like a dime a dozen, like everyone has them now. But at the time, it wasn't popular, so yeah, that probably leads to why I speak so proficient, right? I speak good English. Yeah, so that's that. So making a video about that, I know someone recommended to me that I watch Dear White People on Netflix. So I'm going to check that out tonight after this live. I'm going to kind of binge it. I heard about it, never seen it, so I'm going to check that out. So that's one of the first topics. Next topic I want to talk about really is this whole fresh and fit fiasco. Because what it comes out to be now is that a lot of the information might be not true. The girl might have committed some crimes. Who knows? Either way, you feel me? I think it's an interesting story. Go check out my video on it. I think it's dope. Mr. said, I said Jerome's in the house. I said Jerome's in the house. Watch him out. Yeah. Who said that line? I'm sorry. I'm the worst person at these things. I'm not that good at this. But yeah, I think it sounds like it's from a song. I don't remember the song that. But shout out to you, my brother, Mr. Mystic. I seen you in Jack's live. Appreciate you. By the way, anytime I go on Jack's live, people are so used to me now that when I hop on, I get like love and I get hate. I just find it really funny. Just because me and Jack are friends, but yeah, someone was telling me that I look part Irish. I never got that before. I don't think I look part Irish. Maybe the guy was just trolling me. I don't know. Check out Jack's live if you know he's on my. He said someone else says I look part white. I don't think I look part white. Mr. said Jerome said that line. You never watched Martin. I did watch Martin, but there's certain things about those shows I don't remember. You know what I'm saying? I don't remember. Mr. said, "Oh, you did see me. Yeah, I did see you, bro. I see you. I read the comments, even though Jack is getting like 100 comments every minute, but I do see some people that stand out. So, that's kind of. Mr. said, I just came from. Yeah, Jack has a good live. I don't know. What did you think about his live? By the way, and I know Jack hates that I keep taking credit for it. I'm the one that told Jack to start doing live streams. And I remember this was like last year, back in July, I said to start doing it. In fact, when I reached out to Jack, when I didn't know who he was, we just kind of was both on YouTube, and he was a YouTuber, and I just reached out to him as a fellow YouTuber. I said, bro, let's do a live stream together. He was like, all right. So if you look at his very first live stream, it's me and him, and it's supposed to be like an interview of me. And then he kind of just brought some other people on because his live from the very jump had like 70 people, I believe. So that was fun. Anyway, I say that to say that I'm taking my own advice since I told him to go live back then, and look at the great success that turned into. So now I'm trying to follow suit. Some people wonder why I talk about Jack all the time. Jack's one of my best friends, and we're into this YouTube game together. So I talk to the brother like almost every day. He's one of my biggest supporters. I'm one of his biggest supporters. And so, YouTube, when you're in this YouTube game, bro, you need to have other people in the biz with you. That's how it is. Mr. Mission says I didn't really care for the first few callers, but when the woman came in, they started talking about some interesting stuff. That's why I'm late because I stayed for their topic. Yeah, I think those girls were good. The one girl said how guys don't want to date pretty women. I think that's a cope. I think she's dealing with the fact that she's, respectfully average looking. I don't think that's a bad thing to say. If you're average, you're average. But she's trying to justify because she's lacking in looks, that don't mean that she's lacking as a wife. And I don't think that she is. But assume that men don't want an attractive wife is retarded. We just don't want someone that's only attractive. That's kind of the thing I want to say about Stallone. The other girl talked about something really important. I forgot her name. No, the black girl's name is Sasha. The white girl, I can't think of the white girl's name. But she talked about retirement and how that Alan Greenspan said something interesting, and I do agree with what he said, and so I'll repeat it. Alan Greenspan said that we guarantee you any kind of payment you can think of, any payment, quantity payment imaginable when you retire, but we can't guarantee what it can purchase, like the purchase power, right? So we give you any number, millions, 100,000 back, but we can't guarantee the purchase power of it. And it's funny the Federal Reserve says that because they're the one that's actually causing our purchasing power to deplete in the first place because they're printing so much money, you know. Ms. Smith said they're both in a long-term relationship and standing by their man, even though one of them doesn't make a lot of money, but they're working a plan for success and sticking to it. Yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah, I don't see what's wrong with that. A lot of people should really realize that since times are getting so hard, we need to combine our incomes and live in one place. You know, we're getting 2 apartments, 2 electric bills, you know, 2 separate insurances. You know, if you pile a lot of these things together, you're on one insurance plan, you know, you're paying one rent or one mortgage, your money could go a lot further, right? You literally cut all your bills in half and you double your income. You can't beat that, right? So if you're 2 people earning $100 and their rent's $50, well, and they live separately, if you come together, now you have $200 and the rent's only $50 for one place instead of 2 places. So cut your bills in half and you double your income. I mean, it's a literally the way to go about it. Miss Smith says Sasha was a black woman. Yeah, and I like the fact she had the name Sasha. I hate to say it this way, but I like white names on black women. I really do. Miss Smith said, I don't care what Alan Greenspan said. I'm privy to the reality of the rest of the world. If you're making the equivalent of 50, 40K per year, you are living like a king in about 80% of the world. Yeah, I would say maybe 90% of the world, if not more. I believe Americans in general are in the top 10 percentile of quality of life in the world in general. We have running water. We never really lose electricity. In fact, they made a big deal about us having an earthquake in New Jersey yesterday. So that was, or 2 days ago. So I think on Friday. That was funny. You know, people. That's how spoiled we are. But the whole Alan Greenspan thing, I think, was funny. And Alan Greenspan, you know, used to criticize the Federal Reserve, for those who don't know, and then he became the chairman of the Federal Reserve, right? So he used to really criticize them hard, and then he was able. Then, you know, I guess they seen themselves as such a threat to their organization that they empowered him to run the organization, in which all his views changed. So that's interesting. You know who I should talk about? I don't talk about enough. Peter Schiff. Because to me, you want to know who I look to for financial advice. I look towards Peter Schiff. I think Peter Schiff is a brilliant economist, and he actually is. I guess you could call him an investment banker if you want. I know he owns. Well, he manages wealth on the stock market, and so he's like a portfolio. I guess you could call him a portfolio manager. Long story short, though, I look at him as the person I trust, mainly when it comes to economics. He talks about purchasing power. He talks about keeping your money in. He talks about keeping your money in precious metals because that's what's going to actually retain most of your purchasing power. Not all your money, just a percentage of your money, just so you don't lose all your purchasing power to inflation. Which, by the way, there's no way to inflate precious metals, and this is why that they're inflation resistant, because we can't print more gold or silver. We can mine them, and mining them costs money and time. So therefore, there is a natural limit to their availability. And with precious metals such as silver, silver is scarce and is used in industry. So that's the benefit of that too. So yeah, I probably should talk about that. I want to make videos on that. I want to make videos on money, and I'm working towards making videos on money. But ultimately, it's going to take a lot of support from the audience to do that. Alberto MK7 says, yo, what up, Shay? Yo, what up, my guy? I think I've seen someone in Jack's live stream with your name. I don't know if it's you. It might have been somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Alberto says, fresh the simp. Yeah, fresh is a super simp. Hey, I'm going to put the link in the chat for anybody that wants to join, help me run this live show. It's one of those things. But yeah, fresh. If I don't know if you see my video, did you guys see my video with the fresh and fit? I think I seen a comment from Mr. Miss. I think he's seen it. I think it was a great video. That girl was absolutely attractive. I found more information. I actually found one of the live streams they did together on the Fresh and Fit show. I guess they were like dating or something. They were public about it because every time she make a comment, they'll refer it back to Fresh. So I guess she was publicly known as his girlfriend on their live stream. I don't watch their live streams anymore, so I don't know what the hell's going on with them. But either way, I'm thinking about making a part 2 to their video, possibly. Mr. Mitch said, gold and silver are only worth as much as someone else is willing to pay for them. See, Mr. I love that you said that. I want to challenge you on that. Only because I understand where you're coming from with that. I get that. You're pretty much saying they don't have any intrinsic value. And that's a great rabbit hole to go down to understand why precious metals are actually very valuable. I strongly recommend you check some of Peter Schiff's work out. He's a great advocate for precious metals, only because he understands economics. And I can explain it to you, but the simplest way I can explain it to you is that they cannot be inflated and they have some real use and real value. Unlike paper money can be printed, and it can be inflated, and there's no limit to how much paper money we can have. And honestly, we don't even have just paper money. We have literally electronic money because people getting credit cards and loans, the government's not necessarily printing money to cover those credit cards and loans. It's just numbers in the machine. So that's that kind of stuff. But yeah, Peter Schiff's a great person for that. In fact, we could, if you want this live stream, we could take a deep dive on Peter Schiff. I'm glad to. Alberta says that's why the brain department is the most important. Yeah, it is absolutely the most important when it comes to women. I told this on Jack's live. Date a woman for her mind, not her behind. And by the way, I try to date a woman for both. A girl with a nice ass and she's smart. So date a woman for her mind, not her behind. The behind really is the icing on the cake, but I'm always trying to get girls with some icing on the cake to keep it real with you. Yeah. So, but yeah, the freshest girl was very attractive, except for she had a fake nose and it wasn't attractive. I thought that was kind of odd. I thought she was a weird looking Asian girl. She looked like she had too many surgeries. Body wise, she looked okay, but face wise, she wasn't like a natural beauty, beautiful girl. She was a really like Colombian style Asian girl with like her face done. She got a real bad nose job. I don't know what her nose was like before. I'm assuming worse, but looked bad after the nose job that she possibly got. So that's a fresh and fits in there. But can you blame Fresh, right? I mean, well, you can blame Fresh, and I didn't cover all this in the video. But the dude admitted to busting nuts in her. In fact, when they addressed the allegations on their live, they ended up deleting their live. I was watching it when it first came out, and then they deleted it. So now I have to go through like other third-party channels to kind of watch their live. And ultimately, they said way too much because it's like a legal matter now. Hired an attorney, so there's a lot going on with that. I'm inviting my boy Alberto to the stage. What's up, my brother?
Yo, what's up, man? How you doing today?
Doing good, bro. Talk to me. What's your dealio?
Not much, not much. Just kicking back. It's the weekend. Just been kind of lazy day. Went to the gym and just kicking back, you know. It's
What's your
raining
goal
all
with the gym? Because I'm a personal trainer. I don't know if you know that, so I'm really into the gym. What's your
what
goal?
what was your question?
What's your goal with the gym? Like, what's your reason for going? What you trying to achieve?
So my current goal at this time is to cut more
Okay.
because like I have some mass going on. Like I weigh like 192 and I'm trying to like cut down a bit more. And another thing is too, I go to the gym because, dude, I work from home and like I be sitting all day, and it's just like I need to get some like get some rush going in, like hit the treadmill or lift some weights, some like movement.
Mm, right.
That's like, oh, sorry, go ahead.
So that's not a bad deal. You're smart for doing that. You're right. You don't want to become a chair. If you're sitting in a chair all day.
Yeah, anybody that works in an office or like sits all day. They know the struggle, and it's kind of I'm glad I have my dogs with me so I could like, take them for a walk, get some steps in for the day too.
Mhm. Yeah, that's fine. And, I tell people all the time, like, and I think you told me what you're 28 last time or 27.
27.
Yeah, cool. See, I got a good memory, bro. It's smart that you are. I don't know how long you've been in the gym, but it's better sooner than later. I train people in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and they wish they started at your age. It's smart to start the gym early and really get to it. You know what I'm saying? So,
I started when I was like in high school, so like we um we had like my senior year, we had like a elective, you could choose like whatever you want. So and they also had like an option for weight training, so I took it. And
mm.
I'm glad I did because like I really learned a lot from my coach because he was like the basketball coach and like taught us a lot about like lifting and everything.
So what kind of if you had to describe your body, how would you describe it?
I mean, I guess you could say kind of like I'm not like a roid monkey. I'm just like kind of got a little bit of a dad pack a bit, but trying
Yeah,
to work on that.
yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with that, brother. You
Yeah,
know,
but
that means you
I
can put on muscle easy. Like I'm really skinny. Like I got muscle mass now. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like traditionally skinny, so it takes me like a lot of fucking working out to put on muscle. But someone like you, yeah, like I think cutting weight's way easier than putting on weight, in my opinion.
it
You're
all
probably
depends on your goal too.
what happened?
It all depends on your goal.
Yeah, I'd rather be in your shoes than my shoes. Like I'm a hard gainer, so bro, it's like impossible to put on weight in the gym. I'm like 180 now, but when I graduated high school, I was like 120, bro. I was like a fucking stick. I still feel like a stick, bro. I feel tiny.
Yeah, on the topic of the gym, but like a couple years ago, like maybe 3 years ago, like I switched to like a private gym. Before that, I used to go to like Export and like LA Fitness. I
Hmm.
switched to like a private gym, like that's like a privately owned gym by like a owner, and like I'm so happy, like because it's fantastic. There's no lines, there's no like I don't have to wait for like my turn. I can just like go in and out of the gym and come home like within an hour. I don't have to wait for like people using the gym or just like these broccoli heads like taking three people at like three people at one machine. It's like annoying.
No, that's a good point. Yeah, I would say definitely invest in a better gym if you want to get a good workout. Mr. said, I think it's like Walking Dead. Once the government stops functioning, gold won't be as valuable as crops, guns, skills to build and maintain a society. Bro, you gotta read the book. And I'm gonna recommend this to you since you're a smart guy. The Creatures from Jekyll's Island. Once you read that book, you'll kind of see everything I'm talking about. Bro, this goes really deep. It's hard to explain in one sitting. But essentially, the reason why gold and metal can be erased is because one, silver is used in virtually everything. Our cell phones have silver in them, so they always have value for that reason. So it's used as a commodity. And two is fungible, meaning that you could divide it and it still retains its value. It's not like a diamond, right? You take a big diamond, you break it into smaller diamonds, it loses its value, right? The sum not the sum is not the sum of its parts is not equal, right? They're not fungible for that reason. But gold is you could divide gold, you could divide silver, and it'll be equally as valuable based on weight. So it has a lot of properties that make it valuable. Like I said, I could go into it. I have no problem doing that. But I think I recommend checking out Peter Schiff and some of these great works on it. It's an interesting topic that you got to take a deep dive on it. Doxy Trash says, I'm going to hop in when I get back to the crib. Shout out to Doxy. Let's do it.
Yo,
Uh,
Doxy.
Alberto, what do you think about that? The precious metal. Do you know a lot about that? What's your thoughts on it? You're kind of new to it. What's your
Not really. I don't have any knowledge on it. I'm kind of like I'm kind of a noob to it.
okay? Would you be interested if I make content about it?
I mean, I'd be down to learn about it.
All right. Yeah, it's kind of a boring subject. A lot of people don't like talking about money. I know men we like talking about money, but it's kind of a boring subject if you're not really like someone that's like super into like the finances of shit.
Well, I kind of value money. Like to me,
Okay.
it's like to me, I grew up kind of like I wouldn't say I was like rich or anything like that. I'm not like I had for everything I have is I had to work for it. So I kind of know the value of like a dollar or like a $20 bill. So like anything I had to work for it, man. It's like nothing was handed to me. So
Right.
like and I also kind of don't like to blow my paycheck on one thing. I like to save my money too and also not have any like barely have any debt. Like, rather have good debt, not like bad debt. Like for example, credit card debt or like car payment debt. You don't want that.
No, no. My girl got a brand new lease, and I was like pissed at her. I'm like, bro, you
It's a
should,
waste of
because
money.
her lease ended, right? Like, so she had a lease. She was leasing like a center, and it ended. And I was like, oh, yo, like, all right, you could give that car back and buy like a used car cash. If you don't want to do that, you just buy out your lease, because you're not going to get a car at a discounted price like that brand new. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be, because her car only had 36,000 miles on it. It was a 3-year lease, and they only wanted 13 grand for it. I'm like, bro, you're not going to
Wow.
find a 2021 car that's 13 grand with 36,000 miles. Impossible. You know?
I just got a credit card like 2 years ago, man. Like, and I learned a lot from it.
Mm,
Yeah, it's as funny as that sounds. Like, yeah, just
just
2 years ago.
yeah, it's most people got credit cards since they graduated high school.
Not me. I was always like kind of I had that mentality where it's like if I can't afford it, I just don't buy it. And I rather pay it up front in full.
No, it makes a lot of sense. And like I've made a lot of bad money choices, but it helps me be wise with money now. So I'm not really like crying about it. And to keep it real, too, my plan is to do well on YouTube, and just keep grinding it out here. So it seems like things might be okay. So I accept all the downfalls and bad money choices that I made. It's fucking terrible. Adrian Crypto said, "What's up? What's up, my brother?"
Yo,
Mr. said, I like talking about money. I would be interested in that. So yeah, I think, bro, I like money too, but I know it's a boring ass subject. So if you guys like it, fuck, let's talk about it. I'm with it.
I got
And there's a
some.
lot to learn about it, bro. It's very the money game. If you follow the money, you'd see how much corruption's in America. Like once you start seeing why the government printing money is a bad idea, other than the fact that we got to work for it and they can just print it, that's why it's a bad idea. And two, the money that we got to work for, we get taxed in it multiple times. We get taxed at the income level, at the sales tax level, at the retirement level, at like every level, you get triple, quadruple taxed on money. So down to talk about in that terms. Ancient Crypto says, speaking about money is a possible play tonight. Right now. So yeah, so Asian, so okay, so it's funny your name's Agent Crypto. A lot of the people that are into crypto are against precious metals. So it's kind of funny you say that. But yeah, silver is a play right now. Historically, silver is undervalued or underpriced, is the same. The value is the same, but it's underpriced. So the price of silver is very cheap. The price of gold is pretty high right now, and there's supposed to be like an ideal silver to gold ratio. I think it's like one ounce of gold. The historic rate is about like 7 or 8 ounces of silver. Right now, it's like 1 to like 130. So the price of silver is super, super underpriced. Um, Industry said you just got to be responsible with CC. Yeah, credit cards are like, bro, it's hard to be responsible with credit cards because they charge you so much interest. Like that minimum payment is the interest for the month. Every time you just pay that, you just pay the interest.
Words of wisdom. If you only have beer money, don't think you could afford the champagne, lifestyle.
Fuck. What a nice thing to put on your wall, right? Like if you only got beer money, they could afford. But everyone wants a champagne. Everybody wants champagne, bro. And it's funny? They want the champagne because they could see that they could purchase one glass of it. They just can't buy a bottle. That's the unfortunate part.
But at the end of the day, like no one really gives a shit. They just trying to chase clout.
Yeah, absolutely. No, yeah, that's the thing about it is, and this was saying someone told me recently, is a Latin saying Panem and Circus, like something like that, Panem and Circus. What it means is that all people care about is eating and entertaining themselves. So, and it seems to be pretty reliable. Mr. Mitchell said, I agree with the guest said about money, but I would add that credit should be used in certain ways. Most importantly, used to make money, not just use it to spend money. Yeah, if you could borrow money to make money, that's good too. But really, if you could save, if you could start a business without borrowing money, that's the ideal. You know, you kind of go into debt for a business makes that business cost way more.
My goal is to like build credit and just eventually buy my own crib one of these days.
My brother, you're thinking smart. Hopefully, when you're my age, you'll have a crib already. So yeah, get on it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Agent Crypto says gold is on a run right now, and silver hasn't kept in pace. Bro, Agent Crypto, how are you an agent of crypto, and you sound like an agent of precious metals? Dude, I 100% agree with you. This is something most people don't know. That's why I don't even talk about it. It's just uncommon knowledge. But I look at the stock price. They call it stock prices. I look at the stock prices of gold and silver all the time, and that's kind of like what they're trading. Doxxy Trash says it's like $40 for every grand charge. Yeah, yeah, it's a lot. You know, the reason why they want you to make the minimum payment because they just want you to pay the interest. And as long as you hold the balance, like I've literally had a credit card that I owed $1,000 on for like 4 years. And I literally just owned $1,000 for it on 4 years, and every year I was paying like $500 to keep the credit, to keep a balance. So you're paying $40 a month, 40 times 12 is 480. I kept that for 3 years. So literally, I paid more interest than the credit card was even worth. You know, like as far as the available balance. And yeah, now I'm like against that altogether.
My first card was like it was like a really shitty card. It was like a where I had to deposit a certain amount to it, so it was like a $500 limit, and there was like a $3 fee for like using it and such.
Right.
But I had that set like on auto pay. But as long as you pay that in full, that's all that matters. I mean, paying it minimum is just so you could have the card open or like so they don't default you, you know?
But that's the allure. The allure is to pay the shockingly enough. The allure is to borrow $1,000 and only have to pay 40. But you're thinking about it. There are people that do it. I've done it too. You think about a short term, like, oh man, I could use not paying it all back right now. And then before you know, you paid more than you ended up owing. So yeah, Jack said this best on his channel. A man with no bills is a rich man. If you got a credit card,
Exactly.
it's going to definitely steal from your wealth. H. Chris said, I don't discriminate. Smart, brother. You're smart with that. I appreciate that. Mr. Mitchell says, use your credit to boost your credit score as high as possible. Then use that credit score to buy a real estate property that pays for itself, i.e., your tenants pay down for your mortgage for you. I completely agree. That's a rich dad, poor dad method. I wonder when that method is going to become obsolete because I tell you what's happening now. When I was a real estate agent, I started seeing that a lot of people fuck up this proposition. So I met people who purchased properties under what they were worth during COVID. Like literally, like they bought a property, let's say, to a multifamily house that they rented out both of those units, and it became worth more. But by the time they're ready to sell it, they're so behind on payments that they got foreclosed and lost all their money. So a lot of people actually do managing investment properties really poorly. That's a separate skill. So
But that's
that's
also There's another thing is too about being a landlord. People think it's all like peaches and cream, but it's like at the end of the day, it's not like not all sunshine and rainbows. It's hard work. You gotta like, cause I know one of my buddy who's a landlord, and he manages like two properties, and anytime it snows, anytime anything, he has to go be there at the apartment. He has to be there like in case like there's a water leak or if it's snowing. Dude, it's not like a 9 to 5. It's a 24/7 type of deal, you know? You gotta you either gotta have people to help you out or you just gotta live at the apartment that you own.
yeah. There's no free lunch, and that's the kind of thing
Exactly.
I mean by it. Like when we tell people that there's ways to get ahead, you got to realize like it comes at a cost one way or another. You could get ahead in life, but it's not going to be taking shortcuts. And a lot of people think real estate's a shortcut. You buy the property, and yeah, that's half the battle, but the other half of the battle is managing your investment, and a lot of people can't do that.
Yeah, in Chicago, they have squatters' rights too. So I mean, and
Oh,
also if
oh,
the eviction process here, it's like you gotta take it with the court. That way you can start it. And I mean that's also court fees. That takes up time and money too. So I mean, at the end
no,
of the day, you just gotta.
to my friend. Well, not a guy trying to represent in real estate. Bro, he literally bought a property for like a maybe under 100K. And by the time I met him, because I was like, as a real estate agent, you just like be calling people see if they want to sell their house. I called him because I realized his house was in foreclosure. I just didn't understand the foreclosure process at that time. If I go back in time, I could actually help him sell it. But essentially, what it was he was in foreclosure because he wasn't making the payment. The payment. The reason why he wasn't making the payment because he had tenants that weren't paying him, and he couldn't kick them out and re-rent this to someone else. And like you said, like some courts, some municipalities, some states are very tenant friendly, and some
Yeah.
are very landlord friendly. You got to know the difference and how to operate because a tenant could screw you completely, and you can't kick them out. They got, like you said, squatter rights. So yeah, it's a hassle, but like it's not just knowing that rental properties and real estate is the way to go. It's knowing that you need to build a skill to manage it, whether you're paying for other people to help you be property managers, which will cut into your profits, or you're doing it yourself, which will cut into your time and your freedom. Agent Crypto says, yeah, being a landlord is a job, a complete job. But you know what? It's one of the things I'm definitely going to do in the future. My goal, my dad bought a property in Dubai. For those that don't know, my dad's pretty much rich. But he didn't spoil me, so that's a good thing. I live on my own.
Shape, were you like were you a real estate agent during the 2000s, like, or what time? During what time?
I became a real estate agent like 2 years ago. I've been doing it for like the last 2 years. I
Oh,
still
okay.
have my license active. But I'm probably to let it fall apart because I just don't see myself really doing it anymore. Twin or something. I pretty much sworn I seen you before. That wasn't your vibe, bro. Now you try to. Was that you, bro? This is the second time someone tried to bomb my live. It's crazy. I didn't expect that to be Agent. Maybe someone posting it. It must be someone posting it, Agent Crypto. That can't be you.
I don't know, dude.
That was crazy,
Yeah.
bro. It was loud, but it was you seen it was corn, right? Don't say the right word.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
seen it.
What time is this? Let me try to see the time. So I gotta cut that out when I go back to do it. Cut that out. So it's no.
But yeah, I was pretty young during like the whole recession, like the '08 recession, '07. Or I was pretty young, but I kind of got a better idea when I watched The Big Short. That was a great movie.
Bro, I figured Agent Chris. I figured that wasn't you. I'm like, who the hell was that, bro? Yo, they pose at you, and I was about to just let them. Yo, you see what people go through to. I must be doing the right thing because people keep trying to black. This is and it never happens to Jack, yo. Oh, I should have looked in the private chat. The dude saying he's saying the N word, the N word, the N
Oh
word,
my
and then
God.
the N word. I mean, grape the N word. I might put that out too. Grape the N word. Dude, yeah, I should have looked in the live. Yeah, so much posing as you. That's a downside to StreamYard. You can just come in and say who you are, whoever you want to say you are. Anyway, we'll keep the live going. And worst case scenario, if it's sabotage, whatever. People are trying to hate on what we got going on. Adrian could say they don't tell you that though when you get these RE flex on SM. Yeah, they don't. Not
Say
at all.
what?
He's just trying to say they don't tell you like the troubles of being a landlord.
Oh,
Mr. Smith said that's what private managers are for. Calculate the fee into your monthly payment for the property. Yeah, and bro, if you have I feel like you shouldn't have a property manager until you have a certain amount of doors. Like maybe after you have like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 doors, then you should have property. Mr. Smith says get your property in landlord-friendly states only, and do all the interdisciplinary of experienced real estate investor. Yeah, absolutely. Adrian Griffin says, bro, what the F? Yeah, what the F for real? Like I gotta be watching out to make sure you guys are the real people not faking who they are, y'all. And it's crazy that people try to sabotage my life a lot. That's the part that's funny. Like, this is the second time I kind of allowed it to get in without knowing because they posed as you, someone that I know. But bro, other lives that people constantly try to get in and just like nuke my life. I don't know why. Agent Crystal said that wasn't me, dude. I believe it, bro. I believe it. We spoke before. I don't know what the hell was that about. Mr. said, "What the hell, bro? What in the world, And it's always like rainbow segs. You know what I'm saying? It's always like rainbow lust and stuff. I always wonder that. Man. It's crazy. Shapes. Angel Crypto says, "Shape, you had to leave the States. Where would you buy a house and settle down? Why? Colombia.
Poland.
Colombia. Why would you say Poland?
That's where I'm from.
Oh, you're Polish? You
Yes, I am. What's that?
Can you speak the language?
Yeah, I could speak it.
Oh, Jane Dobry.
Dzień dobry. Dobry wieczór.
I know a little bit. That's all I know. Don't test me. Also, I would move to Colombia personally because they have beautiful women and the property is cheap, and you don't pay property taxes like America. So if you own something, you really own it. And yeah, beautiful women. You get boobs and booty, and the property is really inexpensive. What about you, Alberto? Why would you move to Poland other than that's like your native land?
Just in general, like I kind of just I visited there a couple of times, and it's just like just feels like home. But another place I would want to move to is Bali, Indonesia.
Mm, yeah,
Place
no,
is really nice.
that sounds like a good idea. Bali seems fine.
Yeah, and this European women are just awesome.
I haven't had that much experience with them. I did talk to a Greek girl not that long ago. Agent Crypto says, crazy you got haters watching or hate watching lurkers at 3K subs. Yeah, bro. I don't know if it's a color thing, not to just throw the race card in there, but this doesn't seem to happen to Jack. I don't know why. You think he'd have this? He haven't had, bro. Jack hasn't had this problem once, and he has like 1,300 people on his live stream. So go figure. I literally have like not that many people, and constantly someone's trying to bomb me. Makes me feel like the YouTube algorithm is somewhat against me as well too. A lot of my videos that do well, I be thinking to myself they should do way better than they do. But it is what it is. We'll ride it out. Mr. Rich says, if anyone does that under my name, you know it's not me. I don't even know how to play corn or someone's live stream. Also, yeah,
I wouldn't do that either. No, neither would I.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to, and this is why I kind of want people to show their face. Like the dude that came in, he didn't show his face. I guess he sees that I let you and Agent Crypto slide for not putting your face on. But the reason why I even have that rule is so I can tell people to wave in the camera. You know what I'm saying? So I can see it's you. Because usually if you tell someone to wave, they can't wave because they're a bot. They're essentially bots, to be honest with you. Or I don't know, maybe they're not bots or people hiding behind fake accounts. I don't know. So it's just strange. I agree with Agent, saying that even at 3K subs, I'm getting bots that try to scam me or move my channel. Agent says, how much is a property in Colombia in USD? I think you could get a house for under 100K, and you own it outright. 200K, I heard the thing about Colombia, and you got to understand, the rest of the world works on minimum wages per month. We talk about minimum wage per hour, right? They work on minimum wage per month. And so I believe the minimum wage per month in Colombia is anywhere between 200 to 300 US dollars a month. That's the difference. Like 200 to 300 US dollars per month. So for $1,000, you can be damn near rich.
Thailand's the same way too. Like it's pretty cheap over there.
Yeah, it's definitely worth it. Agent Crypto said Jack does got some trolls, very rarely though. Yeah, I don't know why I get more than him though. He hasn't gotten someone trying to nuke him though. He hasn't had that I've seen. I mean, we talk about it. He told me he's never experienced it. Some reason I'm experiencing it. So whatever. I mean, I'm not crying about it. It's life, Still gonna make the shit work. Agent Crypto, Mr. Mister says a lot of streamers have you cam up in the background to verify their identity before they let them on without showing their face. Yeah, I might have to do that too. I got to, listen, this is our little community. I let you, we talk about, me and you guys, we talk regularly throughout the week. So I didn't even realize people would use that as a flex to copy a name that I trust and do that. That's a new one for me that I gotta be on the lookout for now. That's a new one. Mr. Doctors in Colombia only make $500-$600 per month. Yeah, that's so like, think about that, right? Our money goes so far in Colombia. For me, being a YouTuber, I could still do YouTube and live in Colombia. And I know people that do that. They live in Colombia and they still earn American money. So they're living well. Like for example, let's say $1,500 a month. There's this dude I know. He makes 15. He pays, I believe in rent. He pays like $1,500 a month, which you say, oh, that's pretty expensive, right? It's not really. It's not that expensive considering that fact he had 3 jacuzzis and 2 balconies in his apartment, and he had a penthouse. Like I'm being serious. Like he had 3 jacuzzis or some shit like that, 2 jacuzzis, 2 balconies, huge, way beyond what he would need. But it cost him $1,500. Like I said, the minimum wage is 200, 300 per month. So you multiply that by 5 or so, or 7.5. You realize that it would cost that much, for people to afford it, which is a lot. Adrian Critter says circling back to FNF. Yeah, what do you want to talk about back to FNF? Because I know they talk about Passport Bros. I'm for the Passport Bro movie. I wanna, I know my girl's not gonna want to hear this. And by the way, even though I call my girl, no disrespect to her, we're not in a relationship just yet. We just started talking for the last 2 months. And personally, I don't really consider myself a relationship with anyone until like a year or so. So you really don't know people until you date them long.
Fresh isn't really a good host on the show. It's like, I mean, Myron pretty much carries it, and Big Mo, he's pretty chill.
Yeah, it's like now I'm starting to think Fresh is there to just bring attention for when he does when he gets in these scandals. By he's kind of like a punching bag at this point because it's laughable that he's on the show, right? It's not even like it's definitely a talking point. People have made videos about how much he contributes nothing, which to me makes it seem like he contributes something because he gives people something to talk about.
Yeah, and then the guy, was it Aaron, like in the backstage where he just kind of like just likes to spark fire, like just likes to talk shit like out of nowhere.
Who's that? I don't even, do you guys watch them regularly? I don't. So I don't. No,
I
not.
used to.
I'm not lying. I just don't really watch them regularly. It's just too boring to me for me to watch people talk about like argue with women all day. I could watch it here and there in spurts, but I don't look forward to their live streams, and I know that's like their hottest shit, And even like the whatever podcast, like I got tired of that. It's the same thing over and over again. Asking them those questions, I would do it differently personally. If I had a show, or when I do have a show like that, because I do plan to do that type of live stream somewhere down in my career. It would be if I want to teach dudes game, it won't be just arguing with women. It wouldn't be that at all. My strategy would be to show people how to talk to girls, like in real life. That's what people want to see. That's why, like, back in the day, the pickup artists, they used to kind of like record themselves, saying undercover hollering at girls. That content to me had value because it kind of show you how a real interaction between women and men are. And a lot of men probably rather see that than just see you argue with a girl on talking points about how you're right and they're wrong. Mr. says that's why I said earlier you can live like a king on 8% and 80% in the world on 50K per year.
Yeah, when Charleston White was on the show, like I really enjoyed it because he was like he wasn't yelling at anybody. He was just like laid back, explaining it perfectly.
Yeah, you don't need to be. I think Charleston White's a good example of it. Like remember Charleston White talked to Brittany Renner.
I
He
didn't
was
see
just
that.
well, that wasn't on the Fresh and Fit show. It was on another podcast. So I don't really know. Like it's kind of popular. He was just talking to her calm. Like, bro, like I'm in a fraternity. Well, I was in a fraternity. I don't know if I consider. I guess again, technically, once a fraternity brother, always fraternity brother. Those are my bros, But in college, like I hung out with a lot of 304s. They're called sorority girls.
Yeah.
And to keep it real with you, they're some of the coolest people. Like they're chill as hell. They smoke, they're chill. You know what I'm saying? They'll tag team on you guys. 2 girls give you dome at the same time for fun. They're not despicable women. Like, oh my god, get away from me! You're such a 304. Like 304s are some of the chillest girls to be around. They will throw you. They'll alley oop you threesomes and wild sexual experiences. Like it's not my 304s made my college. Like they literally made my college years. Like, shout out to the 304s. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna keep it real with you. College would be a lot less fun without 304. My boy said my budget, Mr. Mr. said my budget while living in town was $1,500 per month, not including bills back in the U.S. Yeah, that's fine. That's bro. Thailand. I think me and Jack's going to go to Thailand this year. I'm gonna see how that goes. That should be really fun. And by the way, if any of you guys want to join, let's do it. Adrian Crypto says it's redundant as F. It is, bro. And you know what's funny? The longer they do that, it's gonna really make Myron like that in real life. Because if you've seen how he reacted towards people making fun of them because of the whole the scandal that they had, he was like, "You bimbos, you idiots, you." Because people were telling him like, "Yo, you should hold Fresh accountable. You always hold people accountable, hold them accountable." He's like, "You morons want to see me hold Fresh accountable? I did hold them accountable behind the scenes. I don't gotta like make talk bad about him in front of you guys to entertain you guys. You guys are morons." It's like, bro, Myron, bro, you need to calm down, bro.
Did you see like
successful? You sound really miserable and mad all the time. Dude,
did you see? Sorry.
Go ahead.
Did you see like the voicemail? I'm not the voicemail, like a call between that chick and like him. He was kind of like just like, "Oh yeah, just go do the thing." You know, I'm not gonna say the full word. That starts with an A.
Pill. Take
The pill. Yeah. And
yeah, I mean, okay, to their credit, I heard later on that he didn't know he wanted to be recorded, obviously. 2 is illegal to record conversations like that in Florida, and 3 is legal to record it and put it out. So that girl is going to face some real criminal charges, and she's a foreign national, so she's effed for sure. That's one. But other than that, I would say that Fresh doesn't have, even though Fresh is wealthy at this point, or whatever wealthy he is, he has no game. Like, they're posers, right? Fresh faked his way to the top, right? He did all those his original content was what? Those like gold diggers skits, or those gold digger like videos where he'll pull up in a car and try to pick up a gold digger, and the whole thing was scripted, but that kind of videos, those videos are going viral a lot with men on YouTube. So that he started off like that, and then he also got his blue check back in the day when you had to like actually earn your blue check by paying for fake articles about him. Like, the dude scammed his way to the top. It worked. He's an example of faking it till you make it. But the reality of it is, like, now that he made it, he doesn't know how to deal with girls that are just that attractive. Like, a girl like that I would never have a relationship with a girl like that. Not that I wouldn't deal with her, but she would never feel comfortable to do what she's doing with him. And I would never be busting nuts in her raw. Bro, I don't do that with my current girl. Like, I don't bust nuts. I don't bust nuts in anybody raw. That's
no
retarded, dog. Like, I'm not rich and I'm not doing that. So it just shows you that money doesn't make you player. You know what I'm saying? That you're still a lame with or without money. It's who you are before you are. And respectfully so, like, not everybody is it looks like I got no call. Dox, if that's you, wave your hand. I'm having people scam me, by the way. Okay, cool. I don't know if you've seen that. I had someone like completely try to nuke my channel. Yo, what's up, brother?
Chilling.
Yo.
Yeah, we're talking about we kids still talk about that. We're talking about a couple things. Wait, hold on, let me keep it like this for you to be watching.
I can move my mic.
Yeah, that's if you want to. Well, I see you got the guitar in background, so I don't really care. We're talking about a couple things. What you want? What you trying to talk about, brother? Where you at?
Y'all was trying to ride Fresh real quick.
I mean, bro, like, look, I got nothing against dudes that are not players, right? Not everybody can be a player. I got nothing against dudes that are not players. Like, I don't want to bash on hardworking dudes that don't get a lot of girls. That's majority of dudes, right? But I do have something when you're faking it like you are and you're trying to give advice to people and you're lying to people saying that you got 1,000 lay count. You know what I'm saying? You're selling courses on how to be a man, how to bag girls. I got an issue with that. You know what I'm saying? What's your thoughts?
I mean, he said he was like an island boy, right? He was out there in the island with the different types of tourism girls and stuff. It could be true. I don't know.
I mean, maybe so. I'm not saying he didn't have anybody, but he doesn't carry himself like someone that could handle the fame that he got right now.
In front of the camera, he doesn't.
Oh, so you think he might be playing stupid?
Yeah.
I mean, I like that. That could be a possible angle. I don't think he is. I actually think that he actually is goofy like this with girls, personally. And I could be wrong. Like, you know what I'm saying? I've been fooled before, you know what I'm saying? But, because put it like this, right? Like, I made a video about them a long time ago when I called them game geeks. Yeah.
Okay.
I think he's the kind of dude that like read all the books and study all the methods and try to figure out. That's my impression of him, especially with him doing like the gold digger skits and shit like that. Like, bro,
Yeah, I forgot about that stuff.
I would never do no goofy shit like that. Could I do it? Yeah. But I'm trying to make it the honest way, bro. You know, I know there's ways to try to skip. Like, bro, I had an opportunity to be a porn star, and I didn't want to do that because I didn't want that jacket. Sorry, corn star. I didn't want that jacket of being a corn star. I really didn't want to go have to like try to defend to girls. Oh, why I did corn? Like, to me, I just the upside and the way the downside of being like publicly stained and shamed the rest of my life.
Fast money has slow consequences.
And he's in Miami too, so it's a lot of like OnlyFans girls and all that kind of stuff, you know. So I'm sure like, you know, he can just go in his DMs and pick one for the day.
Bro, no, deal. I think his leg count might have got up now in the hundreds. I'm not denying that. But because it's like a child star, you know, when people become famous before they really got to become adults, they don't really have a grasp on reality. So he's kind of like that, where he just doesn't really, you can't become a player now when you're already getting girls. It's too late. Like, because you won't have the mindset. You have the access, but you won't know how to handle it. It's like people who like won their money from a lottery compared to becoming rich from hard work and grinding.
Right, yeah.
Handle money just way different. So he's kind of like, he got girls through hitting the lottery rather than, you know, like, bro, you know how much like rejection and bullshit I went to kind of build up, like actually have a rotation being someone that's broke. I had a rotation when I was broke. You know what I'm saying? Like, could you imagine when I had money? Like, I'd handle it way better than this.
You don't think he's handling the situation well with the baby and stuff?
Bro, how are you busting nuts 304? Bro, I would never do.
I mean, I don't know. Is she really? She don't look like she a 304. She just look like she about the bag.
Bro, she got her face.
Yeah, she about the bag.
304, bro.
I mean, but I'm saying if she really grew up in China and all this, like, for her to be a 304, then that means like she's messing with nothing but like British English dudes.
She's fucking with Fresh.
Well, yeah, because she want the Miami lifestyle and stuff, and he got it down. They can't.
If you can be purchased, you're a thought, yo.
Like every day she can watch him on television, on YouTube every week. That's like exciting the girls. You know what I'm saying? So like she's willing to give up a high-end Chinese lifestyle to come do that in Miami. I think that's saying a lot, to be honest.
I don't believe her, yo. I think she's just a liar. To keep it real too. High-end rich Chinese girls stay in China and marry Chinese.
Well, I'm saying like she come from like rich ass parents. He was saying before. I remember that.
I think she's capping.
I don't know, because like she was like Miss China, right, or something like almost like Miss China.
And if they do, they're very traditional. Yeah, I don't believe her. I see rich Chinese people in I work in a rich man's gym.
Right.
I work in a rich man's gym. I see rich Chinese people here all the time. They don't go chasing athletes, rappers, and ball players. They're big on tech and STEM.
She might be mixed with some kind of British or something. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, she's mixed with 304. Agent Crypto says, haven't watched a pod in months.
She belonged to the streets.
She, bro, completely.
Belonged to the sewers.
It's a great channel for pickup regular dudes. Yeah, I might have to check that out.
So that means if she like Fresh, then that means she been messing with like boring, old, rich British dudes, man. That's what that means.
Yeah, I just don't believe, bro. I think her credibility is completely shot. Recording.
I feel like Fresh got other choices, and I don't know why he chose that. He just wanted that Asian persuasion. You know what I'm saying?
I would have smashed it. I won't lie. I would have smashed it. I would be nothing. I would have used a condom for sure. And I wouldn't even come in. I would pull out even with the condom on. That's the kind of I'm pulling out with. I'm skiing in the condom outside of you. You know, just in case I'm pulling it. You know. Hex said, so-called high-value man, this dude got no discipline, plus the chick is plastic. For real, bro.
Wrap it before you tap it, bro.
Made in China.
For real.
But, Shape, you know, one of my buddies said it's better to take the rejection over the regret, you know? Because, say, for example, if you're in a bar or whatever, and it's like, you know, if you try, like, you know, try like hitting on a chick if you try hitting on a chick at a bar, and then next thing you know her boyfriend's right next next to
Right.
her and like, he's trying to whoop your ass or something like that. You just
Hell yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, I don't go to bars, so I don't recommend people pick up the girls in
No.
bars. That shit is like, I know it works though. I won't lie. A lot of girls tell me they get smashed meeting dudes at bars. So I'm not saying it don't work. It works. But it's a lot of trouble you asking for. A girl's drunk, that could really run you into a lot of Me Too style trouble. So I wouldn't recommend it personally, but it can work. Agent Crypto says, "Here's my thing, bro. Male self-improvement channel, like they said they are. I never let a OF chick on. All they want is cloud and run up their
This comment, man. This comment, so true.
I mean, that's like the new Starbucks for girls to work at is OnlyFans. You know what I mean?
Bro, I never knew so many girls would want to do sex work if you just literally if you just dress it up as OnlyFans, It's like, wow.
Well, they say that's like the gateway to like prostitution or something like that, because some of them were like meeting up with fans or
Well, since these girls get Instagram really young and they build up their following and then they hit 18, we don't know how many DMs have been in there since 14 to 18 and all that kind of stuff, So,
Client.
Yeah.
No, bro, you could be a fat chick and get a lot of DMs. I'm gonna keep it real with you.
Yeah, that's
Everyone, the thing about women that they don't understand is that every man is trying to conquer the you know what I'm saying, the tud. Every guy wants some tud, you know what I'm saying? So the fact that you're getting people that try to smash you, it should not be a flex. And a lot of girls think it's a flex. I got all these dudes in my DM. Yeah, because we all trying to conquer women. You know what I'm saying? You're just another strap on the belt. Heck says Fresh runs the lover boy method to love bomb her to smash. Yeah, I think, and he don't have to. Like, though he could play his cards way better than he's playing it. That's why I don't think he's like a real authentic dude, because
he probably just got caught up in trying to do some long-term relationship type deal with her,
Yo, Doxxy, man, you're a very forgiving dude. And this dude every out possible. Shout out to my boy Doxxy, man. I appreciate you. Hex says Fresh dipped the pen and company ink and now has stain on his reputation he can't wash off. Great point, Heck. The problem with is that your reputation precedes you. So even if you were really a pimp, like, I don't see how you'd want the reputation of a loser. Like, I don't see how that benefits you. It wouldn't. I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe Doxxy, you know something I don't know. But me being who I really am, like, I would say I've had above average success as a man, and I really wouldn't want the status of a below average dude, because you know how fame is. Like, look at Diddy right now, bro. Like, reputation, like, have reputation like that and be heckled all the time that way, ain't worth it, bro. Ain't worth it. Jack Morgan, what's up? He says, West Side?
South Side.
Yeah, now bro says, I'm on the East Coast, man. East Side, baby.
Yeah, East Coast, baby.
You feel me? I know you guys repping that MW, that Midwest.
Yeah.
The Midwest.
Sucks out here.
Yo, we were talking about money for a second. I don't know if we're gonna swing back that way, but Doxxy, I wanted to ask you, what do you think about precious metals?
I mean, I got my hands in just a little bit of silver and stuff here and there.
Okay.
Yeah, I know a lot of people were buying that when like Trump first got into office, but most of the people just get the coins and stuff. They don't like get the stocks in it and stuff. Most people I know, they get the actual, like, it holding it in their hands type deal.
I got both there. I got mine. They call it metal mining stocks, like the silver mines and the gold mine stocks.
I feel like that stuff always hits like an all-time high around election time. And then
stocks?
Yeah, like just precious metals, and they still haven't heard from the Fed of if they're going to lower rates and stuff or print more money later this summer or election time. So, there's a lot of people to watch on those kind of things.
Yeah, you ever heard of Peter Schiff?
Yeah, he was telling me about him. Like, a lot of people like him, a lot of people don't. I'm kind of like in the middle with him.
I think he's the truth. Yeah, I think he's the truth. Yeah, I think he's the super. I do think he's a little extreme in the sense of, like, he's predicting that we're going to return to the gold standard, and I just don't think we're going to return to a gold standard. So I just don't think there's enough incentive only because like America, we export our inflation.
What if everybody else goes to like a gold standard? That's the thing. Like a lot of other countries are buying up gold.
You're absolutely right. Russia's buying up gold a lot. If anyone's
Yeah.
buying up gold, you know what I'm saying? Russia like quadrupled their gold reserves in the
And
last
China's like knee deep in Africa, you know, digging and doing all, got their hands tied in a lot of things out there. It's funny to see what's up with that.
Yeah, I would love to see what's up with that. Looks like we're that.
They over there digging up cobalt, you know, for like electric cars. That's what the Chinese is doing in Africa.
Yeah, it's kind of effed up the way China has Africa, bro. It's very interesting to see how these countries they're divided. They can't stand a chance at these essentially smaller countries. Africa is so big, but they're so divided that if China invades one of those countries, like no one else helps. It's kind of sad.
Yeah,
like,
they're sending the Russian mercenaries there too.
They're smaller than Africa. We're just united. It just shows you like working together is the best thing.
So Shay, you say get some more medals, huh? Get some gold, get some more gold.
Yeah, bro. I need to buy. I haven't bought precious metals in a while. I definitely need to buy some. I know I've been buying stocks.
I need that big ass Hove gold Q. Remember that big ass chain he had? It was like 10 pounds or some shit.
Who?
Hove, Jay-Z. When he had that like Magna Carta days, we had that big ass Cuban.
Flavor Flav watch.
No, this motherfucker was like
I bought real gold too, like the wearable shit too.
Right.
So all these shits count. You know what I'm saying? You pay a little bit more money for the jewelry, but at least I could use it more than having a bunch of coins stored up. I'm not rich about that shit. Agent Crypto says, last thing I think academics roasted Fresh when he bought his girl on years ago. Yeah, the Miranda girl. I remember that story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I don't know too much about that one.
No, it was a girl that was he met her on a sugar baby site, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Oh God.
And he called her his girlfriend, but she'd keep rejecting his kisses on camera. He'd go for a kiss and she'd like pull away.
Damn.
That's hard.
Player, bro. Like I would not have a girl pulling away from me on camera. And, like that's the imagery I'm putting out there for what? How do I benefit looking like a complete simp? You're pretty much putting the word lick across your head, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see how I could win with that. Adrian Crypto says, I don't know if that was a skit, but it was a real. If it was real, he was a certified simtard for real. Yes. I personally think he's a simtard, and I don't have any plans on going on Fresh and Fit. Not that I wouldn't, you know what I'm saying, but it just to me, like, if I'm doing successful, like if I'm at Jack level, like Jack's out of here, right? I'm on Jack's level, like Jack will probably do it because he doesn't really talk shit about them. Not that I talk shit about them, but at that level where I'm doing my own thing, I don't really think I really care to entertain being on their platform. I can pick and choose that. So I'm gonna stand firm on my opinion on them. Screw them. I don't need them. Adrian Crypto's goal would be pumping way harder if we weren't for crypto.
Yeah, man, crypto, man. Everything digitized.
That's a good way to put it. That's actually a nice take on. Damn, Crypto, you got some good takes on this stuff, man. Agent Crypto said gold is an old man's crypto.
Yeah,
true.
Sure.
Yeah. The funny thing about it is people don't understand the technology of gold, though. The fact that it's limited. Because that's what crypto's trying to be. It's trying to be like limited, but it's artificially limited. It's designed to be limited based on this kind of mining procedure. Like everything that crypto is based off of precious metals. Like this whole mining for Bitcoin.
Even the words. Yeah.
The words they use, So, but yeah, I mean, I think there's value in crypto as far as the blockchain technology for sure. And I just would like to see it attached to something that's not as speculative. So I do think Bitcoin, I think gold could have its own coin for sure. But someone has to get smart enough and invent it and make it, actually match the quantity of gold that's out there. So it can't be inflated. That's how the dollars were back in the day. Silver was based. I mean, the dollar used to be called a silver dollar. Like dollars worth 1 ounce of silver.
Mm-hmm.
You could trade it in for an ounce of silver. Now, what for an ounce of silver is what $25. So it's it's like a fraction, it's like of what it used to be worth. It's 1/25th compared to what it was back in the day. That's how much our money has multiplied, 2,500%.
That's wild.
25. Would that be 2,500 or 25,000? No, I think it's 2,500. Yeah. All right, whatever. Yeah, 1/25th of it. Yeah. So I know Mr. was talking about this, and I was trying to get a discussion about it because he actually doesn't believe in silver and gold. But I think if I don't know, bro, Doxxy, you ever seen the book, The Creature from Jekyll's Island? You ever heard of that book?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, if you going down that rabbit hole, you can't unsee that shit.
Well, I'm actually a Rockefeller fan, so
Ooh.
he's from Cleveland,
Did you read his book?
and
Johnny
well,
Rockefeller?
that was one of his grandsons, but the original Rockefeller's buried in Cleveland and stuff. So he's from Cleveland. He was supposed to make New York was actually supposed to be Cleveland. Cleveland was like the sixth city back in the day. So it's a lot of like hidden Freemasonry stuff around town around here.
So what do you mean by New York should have been Cleveland? What does that mean?
He was like John D. Rockefeller was gonna make Cleveland like New York, but they weren't letting him get through there. So he ended up moving to New York, and that's why New York is New York, because he brought all that money there. It's in the same sense that how Dan Gilbert, like the owner of the Cavs, build up Detroit, build up Cleveland, bought LeBron here, all that. It's like a billionaire comes in town, brings all his loans and stuff, and builds.
No, yeah, bro.
I mean, Dan Gilbert got Detroit for cheap, and he pretty much got Cleveland half for cheap. And then now he has Quicken Loans or Rocket Mortgage, whatever you want to call it, and he's a big player in the game. So it's like that kind of same concept of John D. Rockefeller back in the day, because he had Standard Oil and he's pumping all that out of Cleveland, running it through the trains and stuff. Standard Oil. So
yeah, I think I'm glad you said that. Like that he brought the money, because people don't understand that about rich people. If they move into your neighborhood, it enriches your wealth. A lot of people feel like rich people are evil and they're stealing everything, and a lot of people really hate rich people. This kind of like Karl Marxist kind of mentality,
right?
Like you said, rich people build you up, and that's a real estate term too. It's called progression. You know what I'm saying? If you want to, if a lot of houses around you are selling for more money, it makes your house worth more. You know what I'm saying? So
I just wonder like where Detroit would be if he like never brought anything there. Like it would have been more destitute than it is now.
I think Detroit, the problem is so destitute because they built up the industry got built up and then wiped out. So now it has like bando towns where it would have never built up to begin with. So it just would have been deserted territory in my opinion. I don't know if it's true or not.
Detroit was very like for automotive, they were very like that was their strong. And like I think maybe in the 80s or 90s, that's when it was like declining badly. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I never been there before.
Yeah, no, I didn't. It's just that's the famous story of Detroit. Yeah, that was where you got to think, right? A lot of cars are named after places in that area, like Cadillac, right?
Cadillac, Michigan.
Yeah, I don't know what they call those. What, the Big Four or some stuff? Whatever the hell, GM and
the Big
Chrysler.
Three.
Yeah,
like that.
Ford, Chrysler, GM, and
well, no, Chrysler is actually it's part of Stellantis. Chrysler's part of like
now they are
Ford, Chevy, GM. And I mean, they had a lot of they had GMC, they had Buick. There's a lot of things from there. They had it, bro. American cars used to be a standard of cars until the Japanese came in, and even the Koreans, and it's just destroyed. They made a better product.
Yeah, the Korean move is crazy.
They made so they made it more like in the 70s when they had like the fuel crisis, like Chinese and Japanese cars, they were making like more fuel efficient cars, because that's when like in 73 was the fuel crisis going on, and then American companies were still like using like massive V8s or like just gas guzzlers, like like land yachts, but it's like some parts of it, like for cars, yeah, they unfortunately they do it better than Americans, because like nowadays, like what was it, the market, I'm trying to see what's the trend in cars, like crossovers. I mean, Honda, Toyota, they're killing it with reliability wise, and
That damn Kia is everywhere, bro.
yeah, Kia's used to be like
NBA
junk.
sponsors everywhere.
Yeah, Kia used to be junk,
was
man.
looked at as a junk car, but look what they are now. They're making stylish
Yeah.
cars that you like, and they're growing.
Man, people will be riding around Kias around where I'm at, thinking they in a Mercedes and stuff. It's crazy, man.
Mercedes ain't got it no more. They're done.
Hyundai started that, bro. Hyundai started that when they started making the Genesis. And people started looking at, oh yeah, you could get like an S.
Because they're like cousins, aren't they? Or they're like brothers, Kia and Hyundai or whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
Honda and Acura, same thing.
Yeah.
yeah.
Subdivision.
Hyundai is the parent company, and then they have Kia, and then they also have Genesis. Which they're
Every
trying
time I see someone trying to talk a Kia up, I said, no, that stands for Koreans Invading America, KIA. I'm cool on that, man.
The logo looks cool though. Their new logo, like the K.
Nah, I don't know what is that.
That looks like
I don't even know what that
it just looks like a KN. It doesn't look like a Kia.
Kind of like some scribble scrabble, man.
Yeah.
Because we had that big crisis out here in the Midwest with kids stealing the Kia cars.
Kia boys.
It went viral on TikTok.
Yeah, with the USB.
Yeah, our mayor is like suing Kia and stuff of Cleveland. He's like, it's bad.
Not
A lot of
gonna do
people
anything.
die, all kinds of stuff.
They feel like to do that in Chicago too.
Yeah, I feel like they put that stuff out there on purpose and put those kind of flaws in the car so we can have chaos. I don't know, or just maybe they got themselves hidden in private jail cell systems. Maybe they got and they figure this is the way to get people easily locked up and stuff. I don't know, man. I don't. Why would you have a bad manufacturing problem like that where it's so easy to steal out of all things?
You could steal almost any car these days. It's like when I used to work at a dealership, they
A
stole
14-year-old, 13-year-old man. We got a list of them stealing that though. Like word for word, TikTok show you how to do it. A 13-year-old man.
Yeah, so check this out. So they stole like a Ram TRX from our dealer, and these two guys came up with a black box and didn't even have to break a window or anything. They just made a key right in front of the car and just opened it up and drove off the lot like nothing.
Yeah, that's next
crazy.
level, man. That's like hackers pretty much for computers.
Yeah.
Car hackers.
Let me get through some of these comments. Good chat though, man. You guys are great panelists. I appreciate you guys. Mrs. Doxxy's the kind of friend where he's not going to throw you under the bus when you're not cool anymore. Refers to him forgiving fresh. Sorry, my phone cut out. Yeah, I agree. Like, and that you need friends like that. I'm not the friend like that. Yeah, I'm a friend that's gonna like fucking put you in your place. But Doxxy's gonna. But Doxxy's probably more cooler than me on that level. I'm gonna keep it real. You know what I'm saying? That's the real player way. I'm gonna keep it real. The real player way don't make fun of you. Don't make fun of the hoes. Don't make fun of nobody. You know what I'm saying? Everybody loves it. I'm the dude people love to hate. You know what I'm saying? No, that's why it's my channel. Adrian Crypto says, let's book that y'all have read. We could talk about that. I'm gonna go through all the chats though. Miss Rich says, last book I read was Free Agent Lifestyle. Only Becca.
Oh, that's Coach Greg Adams' book.
Talking about it before it was House Hacking by Craig Kerlog and Bigger Pockets. Yeah, I ain't read any
Coach Greg Adams books.
I think Coach Greg Adams kind of weak too. Yeah, I know I'm gonna talk to him one day. No knock to him. I think he has a good point, but he just seems like, and I'll say this to his face, and I'm not trying to knock him. I think he gives good advice, but he just seems like an angry mid-tide dude. I don't know if he's red pill. He seems more mid-tide to me. That's just my take on him. Helena Crossbow says Kia and Hyundai major engine failure issues in Australia.
Yeah,
I'm seeing that. I don't know.
Leaking oil and stuff. Yeah.
That's why they have a good warranty, though. They have like a 10-year, 100,000 warranty.
Shit, 10 years ago they did, right? I don't know what they got now.
Are you in Australia? That'd be dope if you're calling in for Australia. That's fine.
Hell yeah.
Mr. says, I'm a black man. I don't trust any logo starting with a K.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. Guys, I put the link back in the chat. If you guys want to hop in, please cam up. Just wave to show us that you are who you say you are. We got too many people trying us, man. They're coming for the throne, man. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
Shout out to the Doxxy and Alberto. We got some real ones. So what were we talking about? I think we're talking about should we keep going down the free agent lifestyle Coach Greg Adams route? Should we go down the car route? I know cars are such a big topic. Anytime
he said it was the latest books y'all read, right?
Yeah. You want to jump in on that?
I did the Rich Paul book, LeBron's agent. Forgot what it was called.
Bro, anything Cleveland you like, bro.
I mean, but I'm saying like, you know, I used to walk around the same places he been, you know, brush shoulders and stuff with him. He's got an amazing story to get out. It's crazy to
Yo,
think like
there's like
he
no,
brought Adele back to the hood and stuff over here.
no, I fuck with that. But my question to you like that, because Jersey's not like that. So is that like a Cleveland thing where people just love? They got like hometown pride.
A little bit, but a lot of people don't make it out. It gets like a lot of people depressed, you know.
Mhm.
It's but when you get someone on like a LeBron statue or you know, even the MGK or the Rich Paul, you know, like, and he's up there dating Adele, and you see the places where he grew up. That's like, it's good to know he out there living the life, probably up there in England and stuff. You know what I mean? Like royalty almost, because you know she gonna get knighted or whatever the hell you call it. So he gonna get a little piece of that. That's crazy to think about. That's dope.
The Rich Paul is a black guy. What? He
Luck,
dated
it's,
Adele?
it's called Lucky Me. It's a good book, man. A little short read. But he became LeBron's
He's
agent.
married to Adele too.
I mean,
Oh, that's an interesting. Let's kind of go on a deep dive of that. That's I don't know anything about him, but that's actually pretty fascinating.
he really broke a lot of you know, getting a lot of money out here for these players now, you know. So it's pretty amazing. And it put a target on his back, you know.
I read it like lastly I read was like a true crime book. It was called Joey the Hitman. It was about like a real life hitman from like he actually went on TV to talk
Nice.
about it, and he wore a mask like to not show his face. But this was like in the 70s,
Okay.
and he claimed to kill like 20 people, and he had like that typical like the East Coast accent, and just the way he was like you know just the way he like portrayed himself, like he was very like smooth and like professional about it.
That's dope.
If you wanna check it out, definitely look up Joey the Hitman. Very good book.
Joey. Well, I'm still getting over the Rich Paul thing. I didn't know Adele was married to like an average black guy named. So it kind of plays into the theory that black men like that. Like,
Man, we
no,
mean she cleaned up now, man. Look at shit.
yeah, it's just kind of funny that they don't.
Man, he out there living good in England, man. Eating good.
Bro,
Got
no, I'm not saying that.
hey, he waking up to Gordon Ramsay food every day. What are you talking
I'm
about?
not saying that Adele's not. I'm just trying to say it kind of plays to that stereotype. I think it's funny. The last book that I read, and I'm still reading it right now, is called The Killing Zone. It talks about why pilots die. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if you
Oh
guys know.
yeah. Okay.
Trying to get my pilot license, and the book is kind of has been recommended to me on like how like the most accidents in flight happen. You know, a lot of them actually happen through weather. People flying into clouds. Flying into clouds is so hard because you get spatially disoriented, so you don't know where it's up, north, south, left, right. You kind of don't have a grab on things because we weren't designed to be in the clouds. We're designed to be on soil.
Was that famous pilot from New York or that landed was Tom Hanks who played him in a movie Stoli or something like that?
What was it about?
Um,
What did he? What's the
The
story?
plane, he landed the plane like in what the hell's the river out there in New York?
The Hudson.
Yeah,
On the Hudson, I guess they called it.
yeah, that one. That was a pretty amazing story.
Yeah, that's recent, right? That's like a few years ago.
Yeah, I mean Tom Hanks played him or something. A movie with Scully or some shit. His
Sully.
name was Scully. Okay.
Yeah, when you watched it, was good.
Yeah, I mean, just like I saw him like talk about it on TV and stuff. Just the experience, like I could imagine doing like taking on no job like that, and then you got to land it.
Yeah, I mean, and no, all the passengers survived. That's wild. And the funny thing about planes are designed to kind of land on the water like that, so that's why
Okay.
they're right by the wings, so people can climb out on the wings. So it's actually happened. Mr. said I saw that video called "Hastily Made Cleveland Tourism Video." It's on YouTube. Their tagline is "At least we're not Detroit."
Yeah, it's like a hidden gem out here. It's chill.
Yeah. Agent Crypto says Zodiac Killer by top mass murderer
Yeah, that guy. I watched the movie Zodiac. That's my
Probably a
favorite
damn
movie.
government agent, man. He probably like some shit like that.
Could
Uh,
have been.
So yeah, so
Jack Morris is Sully, I think it is. Yeah, Jack Morris. Educator says, "Don't Hurt Me" was a good read. That is that. Don't Hurt Me or Can't Hurt Me. The Can't Hurt Me, I know is like David Goggins. I don't know what Don't Hurt Me is.
oh okay.
Alberto says John Wayne Gacy's house was 10 minutes from me.
Yeah, it was like
that's spooky.
this was like I think in my old neighborhood. That was like 10 minutes away, but the original house isn't there anymore. They built over it, but there's still so many people that go up to the house, be like, "Yo, can I see the crawl space or basement?" Even to this day.
And so he was a killer.
He was like yeah, so like the clown. He was like he dressed up as a clown, and he would hide buddies under his like crawl space.
His what space?
Crawl space, like under his house.
Oh, what? I never heard of a crawl space. What the hell's a crawl space?
It's like instead of a basement, it's kind of like a crawl space. You can only get in by crawling. You can't stand up in it.
What? People have stuff like that? That
Yeah,
sounds
it's like in attics and stuff too.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's an interesting. I never heard of a crawl space. Yeah.
Midwest thing.
Yeah, it's like a trunk of a car, but in a house.
Yeah. That's actually we don't have those in Jersey. I don't think. I never. And I've been doing real estate out here for a while. Never heard of a crawl space. That's wow. Mr. said Capital. That was in 2009 when I first moved. Wow.
2009. Okay.
Helena says, if you want to be a killer, come to Australia. You would get 10 years max for each one. So if you keep it under 3, you should be okay.
Dump them in
That's
the outback.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Shout out Australia. That's dope.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to kill a kangaroo out there. Mr. Mister says that's a crazy one from Cleveland. No shade that they never caught, but they knew he did it. They just couldn't provide the hard evidence. I think his name was DB Sweeney.
I'm not sure of that one. I know we had like 2 crazy ones, but those two got caught.
What about DB Cooper? He never got caught too.
Oh, I was just watching that movie, bro. Was he from Cleveland? No. But you're talking about the word DB though, right? Yeah. DB Cooper. Bro, did you watch that on Netflix? I thought that was so dope.
I knew about that one for a while.
Hijacking the airplane, fire.
Oh, for real? That's what that was about?
It was a great story. I think that's dope. Heck says, Shape, how was the earthquake near you? My building NYC was shaking. We still here though. Bro, honestly, I won't lie. I was literally sitting at my computer like this, working on it when it happened. And it won't lie, it was shaking at first, and I was just in the
wow.
Oh shit! Like, is that like a truck or a wind or something? And then later on, people would blow me up like, "Yo, did you feel that? We just had a 4.8 earthquake. It's like the biggest earthquake in New Jersey history." I'm like, "Oh." This whole time thinking that, like, maybe a truck passed by or something.
We just got tornadoes and like nasty rainstorms out here.
They're already running conspiracies with it was a 4.8 and the solar eclipse is on 4.8.
I know that's
yeah.
No, what Jesus is returning,
just make sure he pay rent.
No, absolutely. Agent Crypto says, yeah, crazy how outside the US you get a slap on the wrist for committing murder. Yeah, but hey, bro, I'm gonna keep it real too. Like, as impressive that is, it's like that in my country too. So I'm from Trinidad, for those who don't know. Okay. And in Trinidad, conviction rate is like 9%. So like 90% of murders people get away with. So very low. So it's more likely you're gonna get away with murder than get caught. But I mean, what kind of real privilege is that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know if I really want the privilege of being able to get away with murder. I think I would just rather hate.
You're from Trinidad, though?
Huh?
You're from Trinidad?
Yeah, technically my family's from Trinidad and Venezuela. So I'm like technically biracial in a way.
So yeah, I know that like who's from there? Was it Nicki Minaj or like Cardi B?
Nicki Minaj from there, Cardi B is from there. Who else? I don't know. I know 5 Star from Tribe Called Quest. Not that many people. I'm trying to be the biggest one, motherfucker. Mr. Mission said DB Cooper was not a killer. He was from Washington State or Oregon, one of those. They don't actually know the identity of DB Cooper just at this point. That's kind of the mystery of him. Like they don't know how he's able. He was before TSA, so he was before TSA when you could kind of just walk onto a plane like you walk on a train. And people like him is why we have him, 9/11. There are reasons why we even have TSA to the way it is today. I remember when airplanes were like that. You practically just walked onto your airplane. Like they looked at your plane pass like looking at your train pass. Like you always went through security, but the security wasn't like that deep like it is now. You know, slaughter scarcity. Wave your hands. I can see who you are. If you're a real person, I see you in the chat. Okay, cool. I'm getting bombed over here. What's up, my brother?
You can hear me, right?
I can hear you.
Oh, thank God. A different computer. This computer is more configured for the YouTube channel I'm trying to get up and running. I'm using primarily AI content, like AI generated replica of my voice and all that kind of stuff to get it up and running. I don't really have any of my computers set up for this kind of interaction, except for this one. I'm starting to piss around with it because I have an interface and everything that I just set up. That's why I was having problems on Jack's program. I hope Jack is watching, but needless to say, I'm just glad I'm able to. I'm also glad I was able to track you down because I thought I wrote your information down on my notebook, but I just wrote your nickname down, and I was only writing down topics of discussion so that I wouldn't lose track of my train of thought when I finally got on Jack's program. But thank God I'm here.
I'm giving
thank you for having me.
No, you're welcome. I'm actually going to give you the mic so you can choose a topic and just run with it.
Hey, Shape, real quick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna head out, so if anybody wants to jump in, I'll still be in the background, like listening in. But I'm gonna head out. Okay.
All right, appreciate you, bro. Good call.
Good talking with y'all.
On Tuesday, bro. If you come to Tuesday Live.
Got you, man, for sure. Peace.
Oh,
so where are you calling from?
I am calling from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Hey, PA in the building.
Yeah.
Steel City.
Steelers. I'll watch a Steelers game every now and then, but what I am part of my spiel or my stick or whatever content of my channel is that I do get political. I also get belligerent too, but when our sporting venues become religions and taxpayers are expected to subsidize this religion, to me it's no different than if atheists like myself, if gay atheists like myself were held at gunpoint and expected to finance a church, a Baptist church. All due respect to the jocks, all due respect to every clique, every social circle. You do you, man. But I'm libertarian, very libertarian in that respect. As long as what you do doesn't interfere with, in the Republicans' case, my bedroom, or the Democrats' case, my wallet, we're good.
Well said, man.
So
what's your political take then? I mean, because you said you are a atheist. And you are, I guess you could say, Pride Team. Shout out to you guys. Gay is good. What's your political take? Talk to me about it.
Well, the zeitgeist I got from via the feedback, especially from people younger than myself, the guests that he had on. I think it was after you, that gentleman from Texas, who's in his mid-20s. It's almost like you've heard the term glass ceiling as it applies to women. Well, it seems to me, and this is where I have my sympathies to the red pill community. If there is a glass ceiling, but it's primarily, in my opinion, again, a generational glass ceiling, sealing away the millennials, Gen Zers, and in its current trajectory, the Gen Alphas, when they come of age in 10 or 15 or 12 years. The bigger dildo, if you will, is I understand, Jack. It is what it is. I can't say I would have done it any differently because you had time, you had to move, and I get it. But needless to say, it's a the bigger dildo. And this is where I have my sympathies to, especially hetero men my age and younger who are still virgins, among other things. We have less going for us, as that gentleman from Texas said, that young gentleman from Texas said, than women do. I do see that double standard. And yeah, maybe there is a equalizer that occurs in a good-looking woman's life when they hit 40, because they don't have the same opportunities to seduce their way to the top as they did when they were in their 30s and certainly in their 20s. But that's a hell of a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? That's a hell of a head start for them. Especially if they're smart about it, which I would be if I had a pair of tits and I could do that. Dance on end tables.
So wait, are you saying you're a virgin?
I am not.
Okay.
Well, to women, yes, I am. But then again, I'm gay, so it doesn't really matter.
I'm actually curious about this because I have 2 gay brothers. So what was your come to atheist story? I was gonna say come to Jesus. What is your atheist story as far as figuring out that you were gay and didn't believe in God?
I'm glad you asked that question. Because I came out as an atheist much further along in my past than I ever did realize that I was gay. And that happened when I was a 6th grader. And that would have been in my, I'm 42, and that would have been in my, and I graduated late. I was 19 when I graduated in 2001. So that would have been in my 94, 95 school year, if I want to estimate.
Okay. Wait, how old you said you were?
I am 42.
Okay. So you're kind of in my generation. I'm 36.
Elder millennials.
Yeah.
And Jack too. He's a bit of an elder millennial himself.
Yeah.
He very much, he very much reminds me of a few people I've hung out with in my past. But it's just.
So 95, how old were you?
I'm sorry, 95. I was 13.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, my brother. So I had a gay brother. I have 2 gay brothers actually. And it's funny. Well, not funny. It's going to sound effed up, but we always thought my older brother was gay for some reason. Even when we were younger, we're like 8, 9, 10. The family would just call him gay. What are you being gay? Just stop being gay. And I don't know if it was a joke or whatever, but they never called me gay, And I don't know if we kind of convinced him he was gay and he became gay. But it's we kind of knew early on before he was even old enough to have sex or whatever,
A lot of people, it seems, a lot of people in my community, they seem to have that. They seem to carry that. I don't know if I want to say chip on their shoulder, or that people can tell that they are. Those closest to me, my family, namely, were able to discern that, or at least deduce that. But anybody off the street or even casual friends, they were completely blown away by that revelation when I told them. Those I have told that to. If they don't ask, I don't. Here's the thing: if they don't ask, don't tell. But if I'm asked, I will say, yeah, I like guys.
Yeah. So, but you knew when you were you said 13. You said.
No, I knew I was an atheist when I was 13. I did not fully know, and subsequently, since we're on the topic of virginity and losing one's virginity, I did not lose my virginity until it was done to a guy when I was 25 in September of 2007. Not that I'm keeping track, but
it was 3:03 p.m. He brought.
I could, if I looked on the calendar on the computer, probably within the first week of September, because at the time I was a senior in college and my parents were away on vacation. I never, thank God, lived on campus. So, I've had student loan debt, but I did not have that burden on top of all the other stuff that I was burdened with debt-wise.
Let me ask you this: so my brother dated a girl before that, and we thought that was kind of interesting. He dated the girl. He had a girlfriend. I guess that was just a good friend of his, or maybe what they call a beard these days. Did you ever have a girlfriend?
No, I did not. A bit of an unusual case in my instance. I know, but but it's, again, citing my age and citing all of my experience. I'm done apologizing. I'm not speaking to you. I'm just speaking in general. I'm done hiding. I'm done apologizing for who I am. I am who I am. And, that's kind of the angle I'm approaching this whole YouTube thing from. And I say thing as though it's like a hobby. And I guess it kind of is, because this is the first time I'm doing this. I just launched this channel going on 3 weeks now. But I've been a rather voracious alternative media. I won't just say YouTube, because of BitChute, and other new TikTok and other news sources. I've been a voracious consumer of alternative media since at least 2013. As at that time, I basically disconnected myself from cable TV and connected everything I watched was through a computer connected via HDMI to my TV, and that's how I would get my information, and that's how I would interact with the world.
Right. Now, I always ask this question because knowing it, you don't hear this side. So you're gay, I'm straight. Do you look like we're weird for being straight?
I'm sorry?
Do you look at straight men as weird? I guess you could say.
Not at all.
Yeah, I never.
But I'm not indicative. I was just going to say, let me add this caveat to my this addendum to my answer. I'm no more. In fact, I'm probably far from an indication of how the gay male community thinks and behaves than, for purposes of this argument, you would be of the black community. We're all individuals ultimately.
Okay, I'm glad you said that. So I want to go down this topic if you don't mind, because I think this should be talked about more. So how do you feel that they lump everything together, LGBTQ, everything together, as if you guys were supposed to all agree on these things because someone, I don't know who was, decided that you guys are all one group? I'd have to believe that you don't all agree in some way.
We do have some dissenters. In fact, we've a lot of white male, more conservative minded, small c, not capital C, but nevertheless conservatively minded gay men may not regard trans women as women, male to female transsexuals or female to male transsexuals or other people within the spectrum of sexual identity. But I disagree with them, and nevertheless, as far as us being lumped together, I think ultimately, and again, this is my opinion, it was done out of necessity as a altogether as a group, so that we're not picked off individually as segments, because of the LGBTQIA or LGBT compilation. The T component is probably the most vulnerable, still is to this day, as you see in politics, you see in media, trans exclusion policies that are especially rampant, like a virus in the South, the Bible Belt of all places. And you've got, again, gay men, usually white gay men, who agree with some of these policies, but what they don't know is, or what they choose to ignore, what they're ignorant of is, if you allow, it's like a domino effect. You allow one component to fall, they're going to come after you next. Yeah, you may be united in your hatred of trans men and trans women, but rest assured, these white heterosexual, especially older boomer type douchebags, they hate you too, just as they hate me.
Let me ask you this question, because I don't want to push back on this, because I think it's okay that we have agreements and disagreements.
Of course.
My only issue with the T community is I don't want to have to refer to someone as whatever they choose. I feel like that's a little bit of a power play on me, because personally, I want to be referred to as the most handsome man on planet, but I don't think people refer to me as that. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, I didn't be like compelled speech is a little where I feel like we're kind of like, what you do in your bedroom, absolutely fine. Should you be treated with dignity? Because I'm gonna tell you a real take, and this is gonna sound like a really controversial take. You said you're atheist, right? So you don't believe in God.
I do not.
I don't believe in any of the stuff that we're talking about. I don't believe in any of these things. What I mean by that is, like, I just look at us all as people. I don't believe in like separating us into this, into that. I think that's like, it's pointless. You get what I'm trying to say? Whatever you're doing, the privacy of your home, I absolutely am okay with it. I have no problem with it. As long as you leave, let's say, children, I guess we could agree on that. But yeah, I don't.
Not children, absolutely no.
Yeah, so I think we all agree on that. Like, leave the children alone. So, but the thing that I think all the time is just like, if you are trans and you want to identify as a woman or a man, whatever you're going for, I don't feel like I need to necessarily partake in that. I feel like it has nothing to do with me. That's kind of where I think I'm kind of maybe a little controversial, where it's like, I think it's almost as if like I believe in Jesus, right? But you don't have to partake in my belief of Jesus. Does it make sense? Like, you have to celebrate Christmas. Like, I don't believe in that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if you don't want to celebrate Christmas, if you don't want to believe in the cross, I think you're allowed to. And I think for me to force you to would be inappropriate. That's kind of my take on it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I think you should be allowed to. Like, I think it should be legal. I'm telling you, I say this, I stand behind it. It should be legal to be gay. I don't think it should be illegal to be so. Like, I don't think people should be punished by death or crucifixion or anything. I don't agree with it. I would not vote for it. But I also don't believe that any of us should have to be forced to partake into anyone's personal lifestyles. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, I like big booty women. You don't got to partake into that. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, and that's fine. You got more big booty women for me. You like men. I don't like men. More men for you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
indeed.
I don't know. Do you think I'm an asshole for that? Like, what's your thoughts about me saying that?
Well, aside from the fact that I realized you were being facetious when you said that, or maybe you weren't when you started this off by saying that you would ideally like everyone to refer to you as the most handsome man on the planet. Right. I don't think it is asking too much.
Right. Okay.
Of somebody who says, I identify, or even if they're gender fluid. When I say primarily, maybe they identify as a man today, but tomorrow they may more or less identify as a woman tomorrow. Because I am under the belief, and I believe this can be backed by science, because if you Google image search results of, if you Google search the term hermaphrodite in the, whatever the term is, hermaphroditery, or however, I can't think of the word, in the animal kingdom, you'll find some interesting results. Assuming, of course, and I know how bad that word assume is, but nevertheless, assuming that image isn't faked or photoshopped, there is a picture of a bird standing on a tree limb that is brightly colored on one end, indicating that it's male, because in the animal kingdom, I think every bird that's male is brightly colored so that they can attract a mate. And I believe it's on its right side, our right. And on its left side, and I think it's a cardinal too, if I'm not mistaken. So it's a male cardinal on the right hand side, red, and it's burnt sienna, light brown, orangish color on the left, indicating that it's female as well. It exists in the animal kingdom. As far as how that affects, not just on a physical level, but on a psychological level, a person's gender identity, because I also am of the belief, as it's been educated to me, that there is a difference between gender and sex. The sex you are assigned at birth, but also gender, what you identify as, what your software is comprised of. You know, you may have the hardware of a female, but you will say, I've heard this analogy used before, and I think it's brilliant. The software of you have the hardware of a woman, but you have the software of a man, and vice versa. And I do believe that there's a component there, because we may lack the medical technology, we may lack the scientific equipment to discover that there are, in fact, biological components in somebody to indicate that they have both elements. Well, we already see that with hermaphrodites. We already see that now. You know, people who are born with, using medical terminology, not being ignorant or anything, people who are born with a penis and a vagina, or people who are born with lactating breasts, as well as penis and testicles, among other things. But there's so much we don't know. Just like we've only explored how much of the ocean surface, ocean floor, how much of space have we explored?
Very little.
And how much of our brain do we use for having intelligent conversations like this on YouTube versus other things that brain may be used for? Like 10%. Yeah. So there's so much we don't know, and that's also a major reason why I'm an atheist. Science is the true science, not this COVID shit. That and you go on my channel. Yeah, I'm gonna if I had the opportunity to go on Jack's program, I'm gonna use that opportunity here, if you don't mind, to shamelessly plug my channel, because I have some interesting takes on this using AI content creation. I make these phony advertisements. I live in Pittsburgh, PA, and one of the biggest employers in my region, assuming I don't get doxxed for saying this by the powers that be, by the supposed fraudulent nonprofit entity that is the University of Pittsburgh Medical Center, they were participants in this pushing of big pharma propaganda, like any other hospital or nonprofit medical entity was. But nevertheless, on Slaughtered Sacred Cows on my channel, I have a company that I fictitiously created on the fly, and I call them Pistis Labs. A play on the word piss test. Pistis, Pistis. It has a picture of a logo. I even designed a little logo on it. Again, I did this within like 3 hours. Pill that's piss yellow color, and Pistis Labs. And one of the taglines is your only choice is when to comply. That's an artificial. That's like an artificial intelligent voice, a deep voice with authority, as though you're listening to like a radio spot. And Pistis Labs. Our hours of service are inversely proportional to your free time, which is true. I mean, try to schedule an appointment on a weekend in any hospital, not just UPMC, but this problem exists nationwide.
So because I think I want you to save some of this content for your channel, and I want to also make it a lot interesting. So let's say I agree to call someone by their preferred pronoun, term, but I don't agree with it. I don't believe in it. Do you feel like that politeness that's all you want, the social pleasantry of it?
That's all I would want. But here's the thing. I'm gay. I'm neither trans, and even if I were trans, I am, well, my real name, Brian. I am Brian, a trans. I would, hypothetically speaking, I am Brian, a hypothetical trans man. I am not the trans community anymore. Again, than you are a representation of the entire.
So certain things you agree with, certain things you don't agree. Ultimately, there's not like a monolith. I feel like it's kind of pushed like it's a monolith. Like I'm just being.
I'm sorry. What was the question?
So some things you agree with, and some things you don't agree with what you're saying when you say that you're Brian first, and you're not like I'm not a black monolith, so you're not part of a monolith. You have your own opinions.
Exactly.
Okay.
That about sums it up. Yes.
Okay. And listen, I'm the kind of person where I feel like as humans, regardless of whatever you identify as, we're each other's greatest resource on this planet. So whatever you want to do, I still want to help you. You know what I'm saying? I want to work. That's how I am. I actually last year I'm a personal trainer, and one of my clients is gay. And he actually had a heart attack.
How old was the man? How old is the man, I should say?
How old is he?
Yes.
I think he's in the early 50s.
Yeah, you don't have to get specifics, of course. But, okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
nevertheless, I'm glad he's okay.
Yeah. Nonetheless, when it came to his life, I tried to help save him, and I actually did help save him. You know what I'm saying? He fell on his face while we were doing the workout. He just kind of like went blank, fell on his face. I went on the ground and I turned him over. His face was completely blue. He was a white guy.
So he had this happen while you were training him?
While I was training him.
Jesus.
And that's when I knew that how I could be altruistic, because I didn't think about anything. I didn't think about.
Right.
I just wanted to save him move, And to be honest with you, I got his blood all over me because he's bleeding from his nose when he hit the ground. And I wasn't even thinking about my own safety. I didn't put gloves on. I was just trying to help him. I had to get his tongue out of his mouth because he's starting.
Seconds were what mattered in this instance, so you really didn't have time to.
It didn't matter that he was gay. It didn't matter none of that stuff. He was human, so I went to save him. And that's kind of the point I'm trying to say. Ultimately, is that I look at us. We're trying to divide ourselves.
Of course.
I'm a human first.
Well, we're not trying to do it ourselves. You know who's trying to do it for us.
Whoever's trying to do it, like the group of people or the popular thing.
Washington.
Yeah,
the
for it, like,
Federal Reserve, all those people, all those, and Jack talks about this ad nauseum on his program all the time, as does Mr. Babe, who I personally been listening to since 2019, before COVID hit, and a lot of his stuff was making sense then. And I was in an interesting, I should say, I was in a rather dark spot, and I didn't get evicted, but I had a shitty roommate, and I had to move back in with my parents, who I'm still living with. And it's just like I failed, and then Mr. Babe kind of, even though he's pretty conservative himself, I get the impression from his broadcasts, but nevertheless, he kind of lifted me out of that dark atmosphere, among other people, among other influencers.
no worries. Agent Crypto says, are all gays from birth or taught gayness, or something happened to them and they become gay? Serious question. And look, you could address it. I can't answer.
Of course.
You could address it.
Yeah, I can address it, but I'm only addressing it as me and my opinion. And you know what to say about opinions and assholes. I know I'm a biggest. You go on my channel and you'll see how much of an asshole I can be. But nevertheless, a cow's asshole. But nevertheless, I'm of the opinion that it's ultimately what you're born as. If somebody is, I don't know, psychologically manipulated, or something, so they grow up in a bad atmosphere, bad family atmosphere, or whatever. They've got that one perverted uncle who's doing grotesque acts, and I probably should watch what I say on this venue because I don't want to get you demonetized or anything. They may think they're gay. They may think they're of a different persuasion other than the hetero one if they are born hetero, but they're eventually going to realize that the reason why they think they're gay, the reason why they think they like being with men, or why they like, typically if they were traumatized growing up, that they like engaging in these activities that I wouldn't engage in as a fairly conservative-minded homosexual. They'll eventually come to the realization, either by hook or by crook, and by that I mean they'll either realize this non-dramatically, or they'll realize this as who knows, with a point of suicide or whatever, that they aren't who they thought they were, or who they were brainwashed to be. So that's taught, and the only thing you're taught is character, or the only thing you're either taught to be a good person, or you're taught, unfortunately, in this case, brainwashed into being an asshole, and somebody who grows up in an abusive heterosexual man who as a boy grows up in a heterosexual marriage where his father beats his wife, his mother, and the cyclical, the whole cycle thing. They're taught that as a normal, and so it's not that they're taught that; it's that they're brainwashed into believing that that's normal behavior, which it of course isn't.
Yeah, I would say this, and this is a controversial take, and I like to say this because I have nothing against anybody, but my take is, if you weren't born gay, let's say if there was an argument for it, why is it not okay just to choose to be gay? Like, let's say I just chose to be with men. Why would that be an issue? Let's say I'm heterosexual for 36 years. Let's say for whatever reason I just choose that I want to be with men the rest of my life.
If that's truly something it's not so much you chose it; it's just you came to realize that there is such a thing as latent homosexuality.
No, let's say I can tell you right now, I'm not born gay. I wasn't born gay,
and then you likely never will be. You likely never will turn gay. You'll never.
No, let's just kind of go down the route.
Okay. Yeah.
You would not allow me to. You wouldn't respect me if I wasn't quote unquote born that way. That would be unacceptable, I guess.
Let me answer your question with an elaborate answer, if I may. When I say my tagline on my channel, and I've said this for years, is, and this is what inspired the creation of the name Slaughtered Sacred Cows: there are no sacred cows on my ranch. And when I say that, I also mean my own sacred cows. If you have a counterpoint and can challenge me on that, you may very well convince me to think differently. I used to, for example, I used to think in my younger years, and I was when I had my head up my ass in my 20s, as all men, regardless of race or cultural upbringing or whatever, have usually when they're in their 20s or in their late teens, they all think they know every fucking thing when they don't. I used to think that even if you one of those people that thought if you were straight and you sucked one little dick, that you were automatically bi. That I no longer believe that. And point I'm making is, through age and experience, I've come to understand that the reason why you may, hypothetically speaking, may have sucked a guy's dick 10 years ago, and you're in your 40s like I am, and you did this in your late 20s. It may have been due to a varied number of external factors and circumstances, among which includes, well, you were broke, and you had no money. I mean, I'm serious. You laugh, but
no, bro,
you lack money. And I have another saying.
That's kind of some Diddy shit. That's what it's kind of funny that you said it like that.
I'm sorry.
No, it's kind of funny that you said that. I'm not making fun of what you're saying. It's just interesting. That's an interesting take, by the way.
But yeah. There. Not only do I say there are no sacred cows in my ranch, but I also say that coming to this conclusion, especially in 2019 when I moved out of that apartment, I had to. Lacking makes you desperate. Desperate makes you stupid. But I've addendumized that. I now say lacking makes you desperate. And desperate makes you crazy. And crazy can often lead to, and oftentimes does lead to, stupid and dangerous outcomes. Because let's face it, when people are lacking something, whether it be money, affection, love, food, water, Maslow's lower rung of hierarchy of needs, they get desperate. And when they get desperate, they get crazy. And when they get crazy, most people, your garden variety Homo sapien, will do, male or female, will do stupid shit. Now, occasionally, you'll have that, as I like to call them, errant geniuses. Your Michelangelos, your Leonardo da Vinci's, Donatello's, your all throughout history, George Washington Carver, among other individuals, who, if they find themselves lacking in something, then it's almost like something gets activated, a genius switch gets activated, and a level of a super paragon intelligence that they didn't realize they had. Boom, like a light switch. And they do something crazy, but it turns out to be crazy brilliant rather than crazy stupid. But we're talking like 5%, and I'm being generous, probably more like 1% or 2% of the population.
Okay, so you want to say it's rare that people wake up one day and decide that they're going to play for the other team, if you will. You know what I'm saying? It's more
rare.
Born on the other team.
Yeah.
If you will, if you want to call it team, just like that. Let me get through some of these. A lot of people have been responding. This is actually a great live. I'm glad that you joined. You're making it very interesting here.
I'm glad I found your channel because I thought I lost it.
No worries. No, it's actually worked out to.
Thank Christ.
And I just want to let everyone know that, hey, I'm with differences of choice. I'm just scared for other people. It is what it is. So I'm just going to read through the comments. You can respond. I guess we're going to get to the end of it. One dude says, I identify as a ninja, so when you see me in the streets, refer to me as that ninja.
Well, if he's clad in black silk or whatever, and he's carrying sharp objects with him, like swords and shurikens and sais and shit, then, yeah, maybe I might believe that he's a ninja. I don't know.
Yeah, Sasha Johnson says, being gay is a choice. God gave us all free will. And this is something I realized some people take on. I'm not trying to get you to agree with it, but everyone has their own take.
They do.
Everyone has their own take. Helena says, if a man is dressed as a woman, I can tell it's a man. It's hard and weird to me to say you're a woman, especially if you're in a woman's face.
That's valid. That last sentence. The first sentence that she says there, I take issue with, but that last sentence, I understand where she's coming from. People have a right to privacy. Yeah. People have a right. They should. I'm of the opinion, and again, this is me. You talk to somebody else I know quite a few trans friends of mine who would probably argue with me tooth and nail that they should, if they identify as a woman, they should have access to the same restrooms that biologically born women should have, like Miss Crossbow here. I don't agree with that either. I think that there should be men's bathroom, women's bathroom, and miscellaneous.
I'm with that. You know, and then in some places they have, like, I know in the UK they have.
To me, that's the ultimate compromise. I'm sorry to interrupt, but that's the compromise that needs to be achieved here among both sides.
At the sports venues they have a bathroom for that now.
So it would be 4 ultimately, because you have family bathrooms, which you don't want anybody who's not a family man or a family woman with their kids, you know, without kids being in. But you have men's bathrooms, women's bathrooms, family bathrooms for changing diapers and whatnot, and then you have miscellaneous bathrooms.
Yeah, if you are a business and you want to have that, I think there should be no reason why you can do that. And the other thought is, if we want to really individualize this, we could just have a bathroom where it just gives you, it's individual. It's not like a group bathroom, and it gives you just access to a toilet, maybe even a urinal, and you know, it's multi-use, right? We all got to piss and shit. You know, that's all we're trying to do.
Yeah, we all got a tailpipe somewhere.
Yeah, right. Supreme says salute.
Salute.
Alberto says it's a lifestyle choice. I'm gonna keep going through this because there's a lot of them. Let's see. Ms. Smith says identify as a correct on all opinions I express during discussions. I kind of identify that way too, to be honest with you. But you know, I actually wrong all the time.
You have liberties. Yeah, here's my response to that, as what you said, that you agree with that. We all have liberties, but I'm also a believer in the notion. There's a saying, and I can't remember who said this. I can't take credit for it because somebody said it years ago. Your liberties end where my arm begins, where my nose begins. So we're traveling in a we both have to take the Port Authority bus, and you decide to light up a bud. Hey, I'm legal. I'm all for the legalization of drugs, but I shouldn't have to smell that in my space.
Facts.
Your liberties end where my nose and my arm begins, which dovetails with another saying I have, and or 2 of them actually, because they dovetail together. One is it's okay, and I told this to members of my family, and that's where I guess you could call that a sacred cow of mine, because they're not here to defend themselves, so I'm not going to go into private matters and whatnot. But I've had people close to me who've changed their opinion of me when I came out. And one individual I said this to, I said to them, it's okay to have a prejudice. It's okay to hate me for who I am. But the moment you act on it is when we have a problem.
I agree with that.
Which dovetails again with another saying. I think I was listening in on Jack's program on the headphones. They're talking about brought up I forget what it was, but a verbal I think it was about that kid, that father who was beating on his daughter or whatever for twerking. Was it you who brought that up, or was that other gentleman who brought it up?
Me.
About that girl who was twerking live, and that father caught her and you know, spanked her and whatnot with a leather belt or whatever the fuck it was. Yeah, here's the thing. Verbal provocation never warrants a verbal provocation, or a non-verbal, non-physical provocation never warrants a physical response. It never should. Because and I've said this, we're going to go here because for no other reason, it makes for interesting content and makes for good ratings. African-American friend of mine who took issue with, told me a story of how he took issue. He's taken issue with past. Somebody was ignorantly calling him the N-word. And he was saying how he wanted to beat the living shit out of him and whatnot. And I can understand, you know, somebody called me a faggot, and I can use that word because I am gay. People in my community, especially people who work out and whatnot, if they know how to fight and somebody calls them that, they may have the compulsion to want to punch, to want to, you know, break their nose. But again, that logic applies in all situations. A verbal provocation never warrants a physical response. If you allow a word, and he took issue with this, and you may take issue with this as well, and you know, we're allowed to have disagreements. But if you allow a word to bring you to the point of a physical altercation that you initiate, doesn't that show how weak you are in comparison to the other person? Doesn't that mean that they won? They have the upper hand. Of course, he didn't see it that way, but it is what it is.
So, and I told, and this is before I even met you, I told my girl this, is that I'm the kind of person now where in my life today, where if someone, let's say out of road rage, try to call me the N-word, I would just like laugh at it.
Right.
Because, like again, like I agree, I'm giving them power by engaging into a physical altercation with them, and now I'm bringing a situation where it could be legal trouble. Let's say going to get arrested by a cop,
Exactly.
let's say kill the person. Like, if I want to kill you, I want to be a decision that I made. I don't want you to taunt me into killing me.
And if you're smart about it, you do so in a quiet, dark alley somewhere with no witnesses, and you know.
Let's move on because there's a lot of comments I want to get to. I appreciate it. This is a good conversation. Texas identifies correct, and you'll never get me wrong a day in your life. So I can't say anything to me. I feel as if I'm right. Let's keep going though. I don't want to get stuck. Sasha said, being atheist is a choice that God gave us. Still gave him free will to believe or not. I know a lot of people think like that.
But nevertheless, will damn me for not believing in him. And I have no free will in agreeing or disagreeing with being cast into said lake of fire and being thrown to hell. Do you see the hole in that logic?
Only if you believe in heaven and hell. Jews don't believe in heaven and hell. Well, I'm going to keep it going, though. Hex says more groups of people equals more division across the low IQ slaves in the Matrix. That's one way to look at it. And then he continued by saying America used to be a place where people could find common ground, and everyone hates you for the smallest reason. This is what I think we need to get back to. We got to figure out what's common and stop going off this. You're different this way. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, if we are on a sinking ship, will we not work together so the ship doesn't sink? That's how I look at it. You know, it's not like gays to one side, straight to the other side. It's just a strange way to go about things. Jack Morgan said, going deep tonight. Very deep. No pun intended.
Balls deep.
Why would you create people who don't believe in you? That's the way, yeah.
Exactly. Thank you.
That's an interesting take, yeah. Jack Moore said that's what she said. That's funny. He kind of created me going with the going.
Oh, I know quite a few guys who've said that to me. So
Mr.
It goes both ways.
Elena says, Mr. Let's see, keep going through this. Hex says, everyone wants to be a secularist today. It's tragic we allow human beings to devolve as a species. Whoa, that's a strong one.
Well, I think our rate of technology I'm a believer in the notion that our technological achievements have vastly outpaced our rate of evolution. We really are no different than our ancestors from 10,000 years ago, any more than we're definitely no different, aside from our nutritional intake and our height differences, maybe, from our ancestors from, say, the Roman Empire years or the Shaka Zulu years or all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's wild stuff. Sasha said that. Helena says, Sasha, free will to do what we want and think what we want. I'm with that. Think what you want, do what you want.
Again, provided, of course, it doesn't interfere with my space.
Yeah, they're not hurting me. I totally get it.
And vice versa.
Helena Hex says, a majority of Americans don't think and lack common sense, but hey, free will, right? Damn. You know, I don't believe people really have free will, though. I do feel like we talk about free will, but like, let's say if free will is true, then people that are lazy could just will themselves into not being lazy.
Free will to me seems like another way of saying that you have control over yourself.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, if you're lazy, then not be lazy. If you're like if you were like someone that binge eating and you realize it caused you to gaining weight, you can just tell yourself not to binge eat anymore.
And not gain weight any more than you can tell yourself, okay, if you're over 50 and you have a familiar history of heart disease or diabetes, okay, heart, don't clog up on me because I didn't afford a triple bypass operation. Well, it doesn't fucking matter because, one, in this country, they don't give a fuck. They're going to charge you up the ass, assuming, of course, you were even admitted in the operating table to receive said triple bypass. And two, it's going to happen anyway if it does happen and you have that history. In other words, as I like to coin term that I'm going to use on my channel a lot, you're going to hear this word used a lot, the fecal lottery. You are a fecal lottery winner. Think of receiving a winning ticket, a lottery ticket, Willy Wonka style lottery ticket, covered in feces, covered in shit. You have now won that. Congratulations.
Wee.
Let me continue with the comments. Good take, so I appreciate this. This is going to be great for the replay, which, by the way, I'm going to have to demonetize to all the words we said. Hex said Americans aren't taught how to think. They're taught what to think. Most Americans believe in their favorite sports teams or identifying as a wolf and believing in a higher power. Yet, I don't know. That's
I take solace in only this, and that being that you always have Patreon to rely on.
Mister.
Dude's eating blank meat sandwich. here.
If you're desperate enough, you might be surprised.
Helena says gay for pay is a thing. It is.
Oh yeah.
He said it's like that in the corn industry. I won't say the word corn industry. You know,
Oh,
this
yeah.
is ties. Hex says no Diddy. Let's keep it rolling. Helena says, yeah, I'm sure Justin Bieber didn't want to be gay, but for fame got to him.
As far as I know, he's not gay.
I don't think he is. That's kind of slander.
In fact, I think he's also a professed Christian too.
Yes. I only been in the position of paying with my peens. One money I had low cash, and I paid rent to my girlfriend in BBC. What? I think
Big black cock. Well, since you're already demonetized, that's what that means.
Oh my god, I wasn't looking for what that meant. I was trying to understand what he was saying. It's all right. Keep going. Mr. said one time. Jack said, "How about no bathroom?" Yeah, you know, we all should shit outside. You know, I mean, come on now.
And then we all have to see everything.
Yeah. Well.
Or be like, or Jack, be like that. If you've ever watched the show, if any of you watched the show, Mr. Show with the comedian and the guy who played SpongeBob, the voice of SpongeBob. It was a Mr. Show. It was on HBO in the 90s. And they didn't have a bathroom in the fancy dining restaurant they want because they thought it was undignified. So they had all the guests shit in boxes and whatnot.
Oh, wow.
And they would carry a box around and they would put it under their ass, whether it's and they would shit in the box. And it was a beautiful box, you know, talking like Donald Trump here. It was a beautiful box, and adorned with curtains and all kinds of fabrics. And it was just that comment reminded me of that.
Yeah, imagine getting that delivered to your doorstep. Mr. says, cows, do you think it's gay if a straight man lets a woman toss his salad? Who is cows? Who did they talk? No, they keep referring.
Might be referencing my channel. I'm not sure. I didn't really pay attention.
Oh, so, yeah, you're a cow. No, yeah, you're a cow. Do you think it's straight? Do you think it's gay if a straight man lets a woman eat his a-hole?
Cows, do you think it's gay if a straight man lets a woman toss his salad? I just think it's either one, it's desperation, or gay or straight for pay, or it's latently, late in your life discovering that you aren't strictly gay. It is a spectrum, much like gender is a spectrum. Kenzie, who did the gender study, did the sexual orientation studies. They made a movie of it starring what's his name, Liam Neeson, Ra's al Ghul, and that's what he was trying to prove, that it wasn't just one or the other. It was there's a capacity for fluidity there. Somebody may realize who conversely thought they were gay all their life, and they find that one woman that makes them head over heels for, and so they're bi, at least for that one woman.
So they make her do gay stuff to him.
Yeah, it's just it's the world's complicated. It's nuanced.
Sasha Johnson says, thanks for the shout out, Shane. Appreciate you, girl, you guys. And by the way, I'm going to run the live for a little bit long. If you want to call in, join the chat. I put the link in the bio. Join. Sasha says, I call in Cali, they have all gender bathrooms. Yeah, that's kind of the thing. Mr. Doxxy says, Mr.
If we were more evolved as a species, and I'm going to sound like a liberal elitist when I say this, and I don't really give a shit, but if we were more evolved as a species, it would be just like Europe's had this for years, probably a lot longer than California has. Genderless bathrooms, unisex bathrooms, and whatnot, yeah. And people tolerate that, put up with it. Where here in America, Bible country, gun-toting country, it is everybody, stay off my lawn, to use the
stay off my lawn.
Exactly.
Run,
Clint Eastwood.
Run eggs. All right, Helena says, Helena gave us a 449.
Was a good movie.
Appreciate you, Helena. We really appreciate you. Shout out to you. Everyone donating, because we're going to need the donations since this live is going to get demonetized. Mr. says, everyone's saying LOL me, but I don't know which comments y'all are LOLing. Yeah, I don't know either. We're all just laughing, having a good grand old time.
It's YouTube. It's not meant to be taken seriously anyway. We're all just puppets acting in a play here. All of us.
Miss said, that's a true story of that. And I really want to know the answer to that. It seems like a lot of black people have different opinions. Doxxy, what is he talking about?
He's talking about tossing.
Oh yeah,
What?
Everybody has everybody has a lot of opinions on everything. I mean, we live in a country with 330 million people in this country alone. And
I think everything is going cool and stuff. I think only thing I see people argue about is with the T community is just kids being able to make those choices young. I feel like they're just gonna be pushing that kind of topic out here in the next
I
election.
kind of disagree with that. Yeah, I agree.
Only when you're 18 and over. I'm a believer in that.
Yeah, because you know,
again,
like
I've got people in the trans community that I talk to who would disagree with me on that.
right.
It is what it is.
And you got people like Dwayne Wade, NBA superstar, MIA, Miami champion and stuff. You know, he has a T child, and you know, they want to go through with all that, and they're all about it. You know, just pushing it forward, making it out there. So I think that's going to be like the topic of like the community is just like how young the kids can start doing what they want to do type stuff.
As soon as they can have a beer legally, in my opinion. Jack Morgan says, "Gotta ride later, guys." Thank you, Jack, for your donation. Alberto says, "See a pimp." Doxxy, you're oh man, you're in the comments. So shout out to you, Doxxy. He's like, "I don't partake." Neither do I, man. Sasha says, "Yes, if you don't believe in him, you are choosing to be in their eternal fire." Oh, that is
well, Sasha, if I'm being tossed in a lake of fire when I die, all I have to say is surf's up.
Yeah.
Hang 10.
Yeah, Mr. says, "I'm sure you don't partake in a lot of things that you may have in the finger." I guess that's to you, Doxy.
For sure.
Alberto Elmael, Harold, and Kumar. I don't know what that's about, but I know Kumar. One of those just came out as gay. I think the Indian dude. I'm pretty sure. Sasha Johnson said, "I would call in, but it's after hours. Kids are going crazy right now. Too much noise. I'll be back next week, Shane." Appreciate you. And like I said, we actually do the lives on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9 as well. So if you guys want to check those lives, check in. I appreciate you guys. It's great to have you all here. And we're just going to read a few more, and then we're probably going to wrap all this up. Helena says, "I meant with the Justin Bieber thing is rumor Diddy was doing bad things to him. That's crazy."
It wouldn't surprise me, sadly. Why? I'm sorry. It would not surprise me because of the fact that we didn't find out until after both of these individuals passed away that the late great Marlon Brando and the wonderful comedian Richard Pryor had a gay relationship as well.
Yeah, and I heard that Richard Pryor was really into that kind of stuff. So shout out to that. That's
But that was in an era where you could be persecuted, even crucified in some cases for being gay and being found out to be gay.
No, and it's actually still illegal in a lot of countries. We got to keep that in mind. It's actually still illegal today in many countries. Dr. Trust says, "Yeah, I don't need to experience everything, Mr. Musa." You don't,
That's entirely your choice.
Huh?
I said that's entirely his choice.
Yes. Mr. Musa, I've never done crack before, but it's my opinion that it's really bad. It's extremely destructive to my community in which it exists, but I have never partaken. Yeah. I'm with that on that. It says, "Cal, if we're evolved species, then where are the examples of progressions in past and current?" Whoa, that is a strong argument against evolution because, like, people have been saying we're going to lose our pinkies for a while. It doesn't seem like we are. I don't know. Maybe we are.
Well, not in our lifetime, and not as long as we're alive.
Time. Your pinkies have no use. So why do they? I don't know.
Neither do toes, really, when you think about it.
Yeah. Well, your big toe has a value for balance.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, all the rest can go to hell.
Yeah. I know, because the soldiers back in the day used to chop your big toe off. They catch you as a prisoner of war, and they just screwed you over for the rest of your life. So you had no balance.
Just wonder how that wasn't a Geneva Convention violation or anything.
I don't think they're worried about that.
I don't think they gave a shit either.
Mr. said, "Nobody knows what happens when you die, but these religions types swear they know better than anyone else does." Come on now. I don't know. It's hard. This is why, like, I'm the kind of person where it's like, I try to just suspend my judgment for things like this because I don't know. Am I a practicing Christian? Yes, in ways. But I do feel bad because I do kind of pick and choose buffet style of what I believe and what I don't believe in. And I know I'm wrong for that. But I just hard to believe. It's just hard for me to believe that I'm supposed to persecute everybody and
Right.
everybody. And I don't really feel the need to get the backlash of communities when deep down inside, I do believe we're all humans, and that's where we do. I really don't want to get into the you're a carpenter, you're blue collar, I'm white collar, you're this, you're that. I mean, the slew of other things we could range from status and race,
Wars.
all this stuff. It's just like, but I do agree. I discriminate when it comes to my bedroom. My bedroom is going to be strictly women. That's an honest discrimination. But from there, it might be women of all races and all ages too. So I don't even have the ages, except for obviously anyone that's below legal age, 18.
Of course, yes.
But that's kind of where I'm at. But yeah, nice take, Mr. Heck says he's law from sleeping with women to sleeping with
Diddy the Diddler. No.
The Diddler. Yeah, man, this has been a great live. I think I'm gonna stop it here, man. Sacred Cows, appreciate you joining. Doxxy, appreciate you guys for joining. Let's leave this off in a positive note. I know we had a nice little debate back and forth, but ultimately we're allowed to, and we do it with just words like Sacred Cow says. We don't do it violent. So take us out in positivity, starting with you, Cows.
Well, just and again, another shameless plug. You can find my channel. It has the icon of a cow on it. I used AI art generation because I can't draw for shit. But hopefully I wish to change that in the ensuing years. Like, share, and subscribe my content. Take a look at it. If you don't like it, that's fine. But at least give it a shot.
Yeah. And you know what? I feel great about this because you did. I'm glad that you're kind of a free thinker and you don't just prescribe to a cluster of ideas because you choose to live your life a certain way. So I have a lot of respect for you for that.
And I think that's what gravitated me towards respecting, as in addition to yourself, through Jack, but also how I came to the algorithm, the almighty YouTube algorithm, because we all work for Google, and Jack's right about that, recommended his program to me based on what I was watching in the past, and I'm glad I discovered his program, as well as yours.
Yeah, I discovered him the same way, and now we're best of friends, so appreciate you. Doxxy, you got some positive words for us to take out this live tonight?
Yeah, just treat one another with, respect and always hear each other out. And like you were saying earlier, to piggyback off of you, when you had that client have a heart attack, don't ever think just because someone's a certain way, you cannot help them. That's all.
Or they can't help you. Yeah, they can help you. I might be in that same situation where maybe a gay man might save my life.
Right.
Look at me like you're heterosexual, fuck you, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or you're Christian, screw you, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, like we're humans, humanity first, So
yeah.
So hopefully I paid that forward. My last positive thing I'm going to say is I appreciate all you guys joining, man. You guys don't know how hard I've been working on YouTube. It's been the last 4.5 years, really trying to take this off the ground. So I respect people like you, Sacred Cows, who are trying to make your YouTube channel pop. It is hard. It's rough. So keep grinding. Stick with it. You guys give my boy a subscription, subscribe to his channel, like his videos, give him a good check. Bro, I would love to have you back on again, man. So I'll just let you know, and for everybody to know, I do my live Sundays at 8 to 10 usually, but we went over this time.
So I, of course, subscribe to your channel, and hopefully YouTube will notify me when you're going live again. So yeah,
absolutely.
And if you need me to clean my language up, of course I will, because we can't.
Yes. So for the next live, let's keep all the private parts out of it. Let's keep all the slurs out of it. It's okay. We had it today. We're gonna have discussion. It's still a great live. And then let's try to be positive, respect one another. So this is a good discourse, and I hope to see you guys soon. Tuesday I'm live again. Check out some of my other videos as well. Subscribe to Sacred Cows, and I'll see you guys on the other side, man. Enjoy your night. Doxxy, appreciate you. Sacred Cows, appreciate you guys. Have a wonderful night.
Take care.